Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Talkin Figures. As always, I am Tony, bringing to you today a very special guest. I've been a fan of this gentleman for quite some time, and if you don't know him yet, today you get the special privilege of getting to meet him as well. I have been looking to talk to this guy about figures for quite some time. Like I said before, you can catch him on his channel at Clevva's Multiverse. There,
Correct.
you can see him talk about interesting topics. He kind of it's a little deeper conversation over on his channel. But you know what? Like we were talking about before we went live, it's an inner introspective, makes you think about yourself and why you do what the things that we do. And like I said, I love channels like that kind of make us think. So with that being said, please welcome to the show Clevva of Clevva's Multiverse. Welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. I really
Hell yeah.
appreciate you for giving me the opportunity and open up the platform for me, man. Thank you so much.
Well, it's an honor to have you here. Like I said, I tend to watch certain people's channels because I love different perspectives on the toy community. So I watch a lot of people in the toy community. I watch a lot of their perspectives, their views, their viewpoints, and I always love when people bring a different perspective. And you are one of those guys who bring an absolutely different perspective. And we're going to get to those, like I said, those deeper kind of conversations that you have on over here on your channel. But first, we're going to start where I start with all my guests, and that is the $1 million question of when did you start collecting? What line got you into collecting? And when did you kind of turn around and go, oh shit, this is spinning out into like I'm a collector now, like all these toys and stuff like that.
I'm glad you phrased it like that because, especially for me, I think it's different for older collectors because I think that we didn't know that we were collecting in the beginning. I think that's different today. I think in
Yeah.
2025, people jump into this fully knowing they want the wall behind them and they want this and they know this is what I'm trying to do. I think it wasn't cool when I was started doing this.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool. We was nerds. It was like
Yeah.
you're doing that, grow up, all this other stuff. And I didn't know I was collecting. So I can't sit here and say I knew I was collecting. This is what I
Yeah.
can tell you. This is what I can tell you. I knew I had a passion that I had since I was younger, and I
Okay.
knew that I was never able to capitalize on that. I forgot about it for a long time. And I can
Yeah.
tell you I was going through an epiphany because I was going through a breakup at that time. Right. And I
Okay.
started to think to myself, I was with that person for so long, almost close to a decade. And when you get with somebody for that long, sometimes you kind of like grow apart, but sometimes you forget who am I without this person, right? What do I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to do? It's
Yeah.
like a lot of we do this, we do that, we go here, we do this. But it was so long that I'm like, well, what do I do when nobody else is around?
Mm.
And it brought me into really my passions and the things that I forgot about, and I wanted to go back to those, right? So it started with the Flash, the CW show.
Okay.
That Flash with Grant Gustin, even though that's not my Flash. Flash is my favorite character per se. His family is really Eobard that really does it for me. The Reverse
Okay.
Flash, but being a speedster. But
Yeah. Right on.
I was watching that show, and then it wasn't until Zoom. I don't know if you watched the show, but when Zoom
Yeah.
came
Yeah. I
on,
watched a little bit of
Zoom came on that season. I was like,
it.
oh, okay. Listen, I got to get me a Zoom figure. So it started going with Zoom, Flash, Reverse Flash. That's all I wanted. I said I want to get these three because the show was just so popping. I really want to
Yeah.
get into this. I didn't even know what Marvel Legends was. I didn't know.
Okay.
Um, I knew there was figures. I didn't know who made them. I mean, I didn't know how they dropped. I didn't know weight. I didn't know anything. All I knew was you go to the store. That sometimes they did. You
Yeah.
know.
Sometimes they're there. Yeah.
So I'm looking for Flash. I'm looking at these prices. I'm starting to look at season one, season two, season three. Like, oh man, what's going on here? So it started with those three, and then the unhealthy things happened. The unbalance, right? So it was like, oh man, I got Flash, Zoom, and Reverse Flash. That doesn't look right. They jump in Flash. So now I got to get Kid Flash, right? So
Yeah.
then you go get Kid Flash. You see the Atom. Now it's like, but wait a minute, now
Yeah.
I got the Atom. That's not fair. So I got to go get. And this is how it starts to go, right? And I would say the last part you said, when did I know that I was full blown?
Yeah. Fully in.
I think I was when I started putting up my third shelf and it started going from my living room into my kitchen. And I was like, okay, I think I think I'm going all the way with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
Because
real, yeah.
one thing just led to another.
Okay.
And it's just like a chain reaction of
Yeah.
things. And I
Yeah.
think it was
Yeah.
at that time that I said, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go full throttle with this. And I
Yeah.
want everybody that I
Hell
came
yeah.
up with. And then I started making those things. So I want to say that happened for me, that realization, 2018, 2017, something
2018.
like
Wow.
that. Something like that. As
Well, let
far
me ask
as I'm moving forward with this.
Let me ask you this now: which figures, when you got the Reverse Flash, Flash, and Zoom, were they the McFarlane ones, or were they like SH Figure Arts? Which one did you go with?
I can tell you right now, this is my favorite figure right here, right? And oh, stand away. This is my favorite figure right here that's on the wall. Let me see if I can get it
Okay.
up. And this is what I started with. And these DC
Oh
collectibles
shit. Okay.
are the ones that really did it for me. This one's signed by Tony Todd, right? So he's passed
Oh
away by now.
yeah, yeah.
It's a big. I got a picture of him signing it, certificate of authenticity. My mother got me this, and this
That's
is
awesome.
um probably the last. My mother, is going through some things right now, medical issues, and this is probably the last gift that she would ever give anybody. So
I'm
this means
sure.
a lot to me.
Yeah.
But this is who I started with, DC collectibles, because remember it started with the Flash show. So
Yeah.
I'm very big on what it is I'm looking at, not
Yeah. Yeah.
inspired by, not
Yeah. Yeah.
your stylized version. I'm looking at Zoom, and this is what started it off with DC collectibles.
Yeah. That's right on, dude. Would you consider that your Grail piece in your collection now?
I would consider this a piece. Oh, hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Don't take.
I would consider this a piece that if I had has the most sentimental. If there was a fire, I'm grabbing that one.
That's the one you're grabbing, right? Yeah.
That it's because of my mom's, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Things like that. As far as grill pieces,
Yeah.
uh, the reason I got these guys out here right now is because I got a video coming out. That one's gonna come out Monday. It's already up.
Right on.
For the members, but it's the curator's cut, and it's about Devastator and
Okay.
Devastator, and I have a whole video about it. But Devastator is a grill piece to me, and
Okay.
we can go into it later if you want.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
that is something that I mean I made a whole video about it, but trust me,
Yeah.
he is something to me that is reminds me of my past so much, good and bad.
It's that shit. I know exactly what you're talking about because I always tell this story. So if anybody's sick of hearing it, too bad. when uh when I started collecting, I was collecting the Marvel Universe 3 3/4 figures. So they were the
Mhm.
small, like 1/18 scale, whatever. And I started kind of like accidentally, I guess is the best way to describe it, because I wasn't really meaning to find out about like toy photography and stuff like that. So I kind of
Mhm.
fell ass backwards into it. Because at the time I was in film school and I was starting a production company and all that stuff. So I was just kind of like as a hobby, just messing around with a camera,
Got you.
and I just wanted to shoot things that, like, I don't want to say product photography, but things that I was interested in. So I just started with these little toys, and I just didn't like the details on them. I felt like that because they were too so small, you really couldn't get great details on them. So I always kept telling myself, like, man, if they start making like the 6 inch ones, because I remember as a kid we would have like the 112 scale, I would really start collecting those, and I would just get rid of these. And one afternoon, I went to my friend's house, and he had just gotten the Marvel Legends Juggernaut wave, and it had the first Wolverine in like the wave or whatever. And that's my favorite. Wolverine's my guy, man. So I walk into his house, and it's on his shelf, and I take it off the shelf, and I'm just staring at it, and he goes, "You like that, right?" And I go, "This is what they look like now, huh?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Phew." I go, they might get me here." And then he turns around and goes, "Here." And he reaches under his desk and he just throws me an extra one that he
Get
had.
out of here.
And he goes, "I just started your collection." He goes, "Have fun. Good luck now. Because now you're just going to start chasing, like you said. Like eventually just it spins out of control because like I get Wolverine, I take him home. And then I'm take him out of the box because I don't know if you're like me, but I love playing with my toys. It'd be it's if you come to my channel and you check anything out on it, it's always about play and pretend on my channel. Like I play with my toys, I film the thing with what I do. So it's always that kind of stuff. So I take it out of the box, I'm fucking around with it, I'm taking some pictures with it, and I'm thinking like, well, it'd be cool if you could complete the X-Men. That would be a really cool picture, right?
Yeah.
And then you start to go, well, let me go online and see who's available. And then like literally the rest is history. It just snowballed. And it started with Marvel Legends, and then you turn around one afternoon and I'm sitting there just staring at all these superheroes beating up supervillains, and I'm like, it'd be cool if they had like mercenaries, like just military bad guys to beat up. And then what happens? I fall ass backwards into GI Joe Classified and all that stuff. And like I said, it just became like this thing. So now I have like all these bins, shelves filled with action figures, and it's just one of those like you said, it starts out with these three things, one or two, two, three things where you're just like, oh, it hits a nostalgia thing within you, which Wolverine did for me, and then it just spurns into this whole universe. you know, where you're just like, holy crap, where did all of these toys come from? I don't even remember. I blinked and they're all.
In my videos, I call that the first potato chip. That's why I always say, I was like, you got to be careful with that first potato chip, right?
Yeah,
Because even
yeah,
if you're not hungry, you're like, nah, I'm good. You take one, and then it's like, yo, let me get another one. And that's really
yeah,
how it goes with the figures, you
yeah,
know, because it's like, even if you didn't want it, once you start, it's kind of hard, unless you just fall over completely. Unless you just buy one, you're like, I don't like this at all. You know, if you have
yeah,
any
yeah,
type of nostalgia for it, any type of love for it, you're going to get sucked in. And
yeah,
what I try to do is I try to make people aware of that, because they try to think like, I'm different. That would never happen to me. But that mentality, that's how dope heads are born every day.
That's a fact.
I'm
That's a
stronger
fact.
than that. There's not one successful dope head, but every
Yeah,
single one of them said that they was the truth, and that would never
yeah,
be them.
yeah,
I always realized it could be me, you know, and I had tried to just remind myself, like, that, don't
yeah.
do
Just
that, man.
be
Don't
careful.
take
Be
that first
careful.
potato chip, because you know how this is gonna go, you
Yeah,
know, and that's how it goes. So I try to like be mindful of that.
that's a really great way of putting it. Because one afternoon, I had one potato chip too many, and it was like, what the fuck is going on? Why am I so full? You know, and then I look around and I see, like, I remember when I first got into this, it was Marvel Legends, just for photography purposes, get some military guys and then stop, you know. But then as you're doing that, I have, like, you see the beautiful, and I'm sorry to hear about your mother, by the way. I
Mhm.
just lost my father this year to his sickness.
I'm
So
sorry,
trust
man.
me,
My
brother.
condolences.
Yeah, so trust me, I get it. Well, so like my father and I bonded over Conan the Barbarian
Hmm.
and over He Man. So when I was a young, very young kid, we would watch He Man and we would always do that shit together. So like as I'm collecting those, and you think you're out, now comes the He Man Multiverse line up the pike, and I turn around and I'm like, oh shit, He Man, you know. And then like I said, you jump on that line, you start buying all those, and then you see this one, you start buying all those. But one afternoon, I just kind of woke up and I was like, you can't do it. This is ridiculous. Like
Hmm.
stick to things that are going to help you with what you do. Like if you're gonna if it's something with a project or whatever it is that you're working on, then okay, buy it. That's where I'm at now with it. But like there's a there's a moment, and like I said, that potato chip reference is a very good way of putting it, because I think it happens to every, because I've been doing 50, 55 of these shows, talking
Uh-huh.
figures, and every single person I talk to always says it just kind of started out one, two, and before they knew it, they blinked and they couldn't just eat one. Next thing you know, they're like looking around and they're like, "Holy shit, what just happened?" You know, and it's like that's what I'm saying. It's one of the things I love about your channel. You make things aware, like you make people aware of things that most collectors don't. They don't bring up. You know what I'm saying? They don't look within. They don't look deep like that. They just kind of start collecting and then just that's
Yeah,
it.
they do it to do it, right? So like,
Yeah,
a figure come out, let's say figure A, whatever. The figure A is coming out. Hey, you're gonna get figure A, right?
yeah,
I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna pass on it. Now it's like, oh, why? It's almost like you have to. What do you mean you're gonna pass on
exactly.
it? Like, and I'm
Yeah,
like, no, you know, you could pass on these, right? You don't.
yeah.
I'm not a slave. I don't have to. And it was almost like, oh well, I gotta get two, you know, because. And I'm like, but why? I don't understand. Like, you don't even like that guy like that. Like, why do you need two? It's like,
There's plenty of that
you
too.
know, like the Rom character, right? Everybody was going crazy over the Marvel Legends Rom. I mean, I really do like the figure. I came across six of them. I came across the whole box. I didn't buy not one. I really liked it. I said, this looks dope. I mean, there's
Yeah,
something different, whole new body mold and everything. But I don't know anything about them. I don't know where I would put him. I don't know. I don't want to start researching for this. This is not what I grew up with. He looks dope, but this is for somebody else. I can't
yeah, I
I
agree.
can't help but feel like somebody else would have bought all six of them. And knowing what I felt the way I felt, and said no because somebody else wants these,
I
and
want to
I'm gonna
have
take all
that.
six of them.
Yeah,
And
no,
that,
I've seen that plenty of times with people where they don't care about the character, but they'll still buy because it's in the wave, and it's like
and,
I want
and,
to have.
and that's not even a build a figure. So now we're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
not what I want. We're talking about what you want. I
yeah,
want it because I saw you post it. I don't know anything about this, but I know you want it, and all I want to do is be like, look what I got, fam. Just so
yeah,
you could be a little salty.
yeah.
This is where we at with this. This is where we at with this. And I
It's
see these
sad.
things, and I see these things, and I'm like, you know what you're doing, right? And they don't even know what they're doing. They don't even
Yeah.
know it. I'm like,
All right. Well, let me ask you this next question. What of the lines that you got so far on the back of your? See, I see you got. I see you got some McFarlane. You showed the DC icons. You got some a lot of Transformers. I see back there.
you know,
What
my
what of the lines that you've been collecting so far is your favorite?
My bread and butter is Marvel Legends. I mean, I always started with
Okay.
Marvel Legends. As far as quantity and as far as how long I've been doing this,
Yeah.
my numbers are all going to be in
Do
Marvel
you
Legends.
stick with the comic Marvel Legends, or do you do MCU and both? Because I tend to stick with the comic versions.
I am a comic aficionado. I want the
Okay.
people that I grew up with, right?
Okay.
MCU figures to me, with the exception of something like Worthy Cap or something that really makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
MCU figures are designed to just keep you running in place. You know, a new movie comes out, I took off the star, and that was dirty. You got to buy a new one. You know,
Mm,
it's not. I didn't grow up with Chris Evans. I didn't grow up with Thor. I didn't grow up with Hugh Jackman. As good
yeah.
as he is, I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
grow up with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those don't really do it for me. I have picked up some MCU figures. Those are on the bottom of my shelf, and that's the next shelf that's probably gonna make it out. Um, what I found for those, the only MCU wave, and it's probably gonna be like, really? The only one that I was really happy that I bought the wave was Shang-Chi. For some reason, I didn't buy it. I went to see the movie. I think Katie had me rolling so much that I was like, yo, I'm gonna buy this, man. I'm gonna buy the Shang-Chi wave. Man. I like the movie so much, I'm gonna do that. But the rest of them, I don't know. Besides the Captain America here and there, I feel like they're just not worth it. They don't
Yeah. I
time with
agree.
it. They don't age gracefully. They don't
Oh, yeah.
they just for the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm just not really about that. I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah, I agree. That's the same way I'm the same way with the comics, man. Like I want the things that I remember as a kid seeing and going, oh my god, like Jim Lee's art. And when those X-Men, like those X-Men Wolverines come out and they like resemble Jim Lee's art, I'm always like, oh my god, sign me up. Like immediately.
Exactly.
I never like just pre-order. Um, but here's my big issue, and I don't know if you see this, and I ask everybody of this when we always talk Marvel Legends. Are you annoyed by? This is such a silly nitpick, but
All right.
it always gets me. Uh, the Captain Americas, like the comic versions.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they have that annoying clip and peg system, but the movie Cap has like the straps that you could slide his arm through? I
Oh, I never thought about that.
dude, when I take those shields out of the package and I see that stupid clip and pin system, I'm like, for once, can we just get like a comic accurate Captain America shield that has
Word.
straps
That's a
and
good
stuff like
idea.
that?
I never thought about that. I
It
never
drives
thought
me
about it.
crazy,
The
dude.
only thing that I could think of is that they want you to be able to plug it in his back because I think a lot of people like that pose and not the Chris Evans. But still, like, how
You could
many
still
renditions?
you could still do that with
Really?
just like a simple plug,
Uh huh.
right? That will just plug in, but to still have the straps. I
Oh yeah,
just it,
maybe make that roll out and then push
yeah,
it back up.
I'm saying like just certain things that you could. The fact that it doesn't even have to be like a fancy. You don't have to go fancy, so it doesn't have to be more expensive. But it has driven me crazy since I've started collecting Marvel Legends because I got one because you like I said. And the only reason I bring this up is because you brought up the only Marvel Legends figure worth getting, the MCU one, is Captain
Mhm.
America. And I, as soon as you said that, I go, yeah, because the shield has the straps.
Well,
Because I
Worthy
always,
Cap because he has the hammer too.
and
So
he has the
both,
hammer too,
right?
yeah. But like, they come with the straps, and I always take that shield and give it to my comic Captain Americas because I love having the fact that he could just slide his arm to it and have the straps. I don't know. I've even gone as far as to make my own version, like customize it and kit bash and glue straps onto those shields.
I
But
never
that
even
kit,
thought about that. And I'm looking at it now because I have like an X-Men. I have an X-Men versus Avengers section, and
right
all my
on,
X-Men
right
are
on,
watching the Avengers.
yeah,
And Cap is like laid out, like boom, but you have the shield like just hanging off his arm by like one, which makes it look realistic because it's like hanging by the strap. I would
yeah,
never be able to do that with a peg, and I didn't even think about that.
yeah,
It would
yeah,
look too clean, clamped to his wrist.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
That's
I just
I like the straps. I like especially because you see him like strap it up like we could do this all day. You know,
that's what I'm
like
saying, man. It's just little things where like when I'm see, this is how I work. I don't know, like when you collect toys, like when I collect them and I see them on the shelf, I immediately think about telling a story with them. That's all I do with my toys. So when I take a picture of shit like that, it has like a deeper meaning to it because I I come from the pro wrestling world.
all right,
So like when I had gotten hurt like 12 years ago, and I couldn't do wrestling no more. So that's how I got into filmmaking and all this shit. It kind of like was one of those things where it's like couldn't do this no more, so I had to find
man, makes
something
sense.
else to do with my time.
Right.
So when I got into this, I was always like my whole life I was always into storytelling and like so whenever I see an action figure, my mind immediately starts telling a story. It's the only time where if and I always tell people like if I hear the whole story or I see the whole story in my head, like within seconds of just holding the figure, I'll buy it or I'll pre-order it. You know what I'm saying? Like now that's where I am. So if I, like, for instance, you brought up Rom, when I saw that figure, blank, nothing.
That's how I felt. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just kind of like, well, it does nothing for me. I don't need this figure at all. And I was like, that's where I want to be. So like when I see things now and it just doesn't, like for instance, that whole Gamerverse line that came out did nothing for me. I have no affinity for Marvel vs. Capcom because I was never really a big fighting game person. So it doesn't, so like I already have a Captain America. I have the Secret Wars one, which he doesn't have the butterfly joints, but
Secret Wars is a good cap. It's a pretty good cap.
I enjoy that cap. I think
Hmm.
he's a great Captain America. You can do what you need to with him, and and I don't know if you feel the way I feel, but like, and this will be my next question: how do you feel about, since you do like Marvel Legends, that's your line? How do you feel about the Maximum stuff? Are you a fan of the Maximum stuff, or you feel like what do you do? Like, because you might be in the same boat with me. I'm like, what is this now?
All right. So I've done videos on both of them already, right? So I've done a video on Spider-Man. I've done a video on Hulk. Um, I thought originally, all right, am I a fan of it? No, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a
Okay,
fan of half of the stuff that's in there. It's like you just sprinkling a whole bunch of stuff, throwing everything at the wall, trying to see what sticks. I don't like the head scope. I don't like half of the hands. Half of the stuff you're giving me, I'm not really feeling like that. Then the
yeah,
other half of stuff that you have, you're really biting off Jada Toys. If you're gonna bite off Jada Toys, at least do it better than them. Or Jada Toy stands when they come up,
yeah,
they're a lot more sturdier. When I got this Silver Samurai, I'm putting the star on it. It's already leaning on the stand. I'm like, come
oh
on, I don't
Jesus,
have it with
really?
Jada. Yeah, and that's with the new Gamerverse.
Come on,
So when it comes to these accessories that they coming with, if they're gonna make the accessories worth it, then that's one thing. I can't help but feel like just throwing that. I don't need 10 pair of hands. I don't need 8
yeah,
pair of hands. Like let's figure that out. You're not a Mayfex. This is not Storm Collectibles. Slow down. If you're gonna give me something, give me webs that I'm actually gonna use. Give me. This is why I like
yeah,
that SH figure watch Spider Man. That one looks really dope. The Hulk was a total waste to me. If at least with Spider Man, you're gonna tell me it was just the accessories, but the buck was different. Okay, and then you're gonna tell me, well, this is the McFarlane inspired, which is my era of Spider
yeah. It's
Man
mine
when
too. Yeah,
McFarlane took over. So I'm like, yeah, I feel like I need this. You know what I mean? Well,
yeah,
Hulk, I feel like I got Hulk already. All you
so,
did was
yeah,
change the color. I
yeah,
did a video on it, man. I got 80% of that figure already. And then you put 3 head sculpts that I really can't do nothing with because that's before my time. So now you putting that to like my grandfather's era, and you're gonna say, well, this is comic accurate. Not for me. And for $60, I can't help but feel like the only reason that Hulk came out after Spider Man was to test the market. Spider Man's gonna come out. We're gonna see what's going on. 50.
yeah,
Let's see how they bite for that. Hulk was to see. Let's see if 60 is a problem. Because
yeah,
they should have put Deadpool first, right? Let's see how far we could push this.
yeah.
60 for Hulk. Then I don't know. I'm not seeing them selling out like that. I'm seeing some people subscribing to it, but not like that. Not like the way they want to. The
Yeah,
way
no,
I
yeah,
think they wanted it to catch on.
yeah.
So now
See, like,
Deadpool's coming out.
yeah,
I don't like. I'm not a fan of the series too much myself.
yeah,
I don't have them.
I always look at it this way. Like, if you're gonna jack up the price on us, I'm okay with all the hands, but that's not enough for me.
It's not enough.
Like I feel like especially since you took away the build a figure, then you should have given pieces like a diorama or something like you could set him up on a shelf with it, and it all goes together, and then you're like, all right, I'll justify the price because at least it has like a whole thing that it all goes together, and maybe it's like a ledge of a building that you could put him perched on, like we're talking about Spider Man,
Right.
so
So
you
you
can
could do
get that.
certain poses.
Yeah, I
Even
feel like it should have done that stuff. Yeah, yeah,
even a better action, even a better stand. Because all right, let's take
yeah,
a look. Do you like the unmasked Peter Parker? That guy looks like he's on meth. I'm not really
yeah,
feeling that unmasked Peter Parker, right? Am
yeah,
I feeling the web hands? Not really. It
yeah,
looks off balance to me. You know what I'm saying? Those are
yeah,
two things right there, two big selling points that you're trying to give to me. And I'm telling you, I don't even want those. So you're trying to sell me something that I don't even want. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything else in the box, I'm like, yeah, I guess I take a web here and there, but for 50, I don't like pushing precedents. I don't like things to start and set precedents because they tried us with the 12-inch Marvel line, right? They came out with the 12-inch line. Everybody was going crazy for like 5 minutes, and now it's defunct. And I
Yeah.
really hope, to be honest with you, I'm kind of hoping Maximum Series goes the same way. I'm
I
kind
think
of
it might.
hope it
I
does.
think it might because, like, see, to me, when you get figures like Spider Man, for instance, you only need four sets of hands, fists, like sticky hands, I call them, right?
Yep, the whip hand.
Web hands and maybe grabby hands just so you can grab webs if you need to grab webs. But that's it. Like you don't need the weird, like you said, the weird web shooter hand things. I didn't need those. But like I said, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna kind of polish this up and say, "Oh, it's in a maximum." Then it. See, I got into a thing with somebody a couple of weeks ago on a stream
All right.
because I said the Hulk is bullshit. Because if you say that it's maximum, then it should have the maximum amount of articulation, which means he should have double knees and double jointed elbows because you've said that he's maximum. Don't just make him a rubber chest and give him toe articulation and say, oh, look how much he moves now. It's the same fucking Hulk.
That's an
I
add-on
have
kit.
three of that.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
give
I
me an
have.
add-on kit for that. We already
Yeah,
have. I thought it was a brand new mode. You told me this is something I've never seen before. I've seen
yeah,
it. I have it. I can pick it up right now and show it to you.
yeah.
Why? What? I don't get it. I have eyes. You didn't even try to change it a little bit, man. Like, what's up?
No, yeah. You just
And
made it
then,
rubber.
and I get it because this is. I want to bring this up really fast because I've heard
Yeah,
this on so many other people's things, and I watched YouTube a lot and I was sucking my teeth like what? Like I hate when people compare market prices with aftermarket prices, right? So when somebody says something crazy like, well, Hulk is like $120, online. What does that mean, my brother?
yeah,
Like just because you missed out, you think it's okay for them. All right, so by that terminology, right? Let's go to sneakers. The
yeah,
sneakers Jordans come out, they sell out. You got to hit the lottery just to give them your money, right? The raffle. So they sell out instantly. Should Jordan say, well, my sneakers cost 225? They going for 500 on Fight Club. So you know what? My new ones are going to be 400. But hey, they 500 online, so you good.
yeah,
That
yeah,
makes no sense. That's the same way when somebody tells me, well, these are oranges and apples. Don't
yeah,
compare aftermarket with Hasbro and say I'm gonna buy a $60 recycled figure from them just because I missed out and this guy costs 100 and change. You're trying to justify something that
yeah,
doesn't make any sense. And now I gotta pay the price because you missed out. So I don't want
yeah. I
things like
agree.
that to catch on.
Yeah,
So compare market with market, aftermarket with aftermarket. I hear too many people biting the bullet saying, "Oh, I'm buying the Hulk because the other ones are a buck 20." Hasbro's not charging a buck 20. That's on you, fam. What have
yeah,
we
for
learned?
real.
What have we learned?
Yeah. You know what I do? And I always tell people when they say that, you should go to toy shows because that's where you'll get them for like maybe a little bit over, but it won't be like eBay or internet prices. It's like if I like here's the thing, like I will miss out on things, and if I miss out, I don't ever get angry because it's just like, well, I go to enough toy shows that if I have to pay $20 over, it's because I decided to just wait it out and get it at the toy show. To me, the aftermarket, if you're willing to pay that, it's because you don't want to rush to the pre-order. You don't want to be on the front of that line and try to beat all these people that try to fucking order 10 of them at once, which annoys me to no end, by the way. Like the legacy cop that went live today and sold out in a matter of seconds, the GI Joe.
Oh man,
Uh,
I'm still tight about Soundwave. So I don't do GI Joes, but yesterday was Soundwave G1
yeah,
Soundwave.
it was the
Yeah, I
same
missed out.
thing.
I missed out. Yeah, it was like five
Yeah,
minutes. Like
dude, it
five
was
minutes.
crazy, man. Because all like again, the photography, like that cop to me was like, oh my goodness, Arkham Cops with Jim Gordon and all that stuff. But and immediately when I thought that immediately, I was like, this thing is going to sell out because everybody's thinking the same thing, And so I was like, I'm not even going to rush to. I'm not going to sit there waiting in the queue. Just you'll see them. They'll re-release them at some point. You'll get them. I think that's a lot of times too is that FOMO shit where, like you said, well, if someone's charging it 120, eventually he's going to sell out too, and then he's going to be 120. Then I'm not going to get a Hulk at all. So let me just bite the bullet and get this one for 60. And I always I tell people like, okay, but it's the same thing. Like if you already have the Hulk, a lot of people like that have bought him after you had him because I got that one that came with Wolverine, the
All
two
right.
pack,
Yeah, the anniversary pack. Was it
and
60th or the
same
60th, right?
fucking
Yeah.
Hulk, man. It's the
Yeah, it
same
is.
Hulk.
It really is.
Yeah,
And I have the one before that, I think the 20th by himself. I
yeah.
I think the green is a little bit shaded. And they do that on purpose so you can't mix and match the parts. But there really is the same Hulk, minus the chest. And to be clear, I'm seeing a lot of people saying the chest is cracking. So we're not even
Okay.
6 months into it, and we're
Yeah,
already getting defects from the one selling point, the one thing that you added brand new and up to premium. You can't even get that right. So yeah, I'm good off
yeah.
that
I
Hulk, man.
can't do it. Yeah, and
But hold up, before we move forward,
yeah,
here's my prediction. That is not an MVC2 Capcom Hulk. I guarantee you they're gonna come out with another Hulk. They're gonna make one that's appropriate for NBC2. Now I've been on Marvel vs. Capcom before the live stream. That's what I
Yeah,
like about YouTube too, because every video is a receipt. So
yeah,
I've been making my Marvel vs. Capcom show for over a year now. And I got the cabinet right here. Like I love that. I grew up with that game. I used to go to
yeah,
school and stay in there, playing whatever. So I've been wanting to get that going. That's a big thing to me. Man, I love that show, man. Marvel vs. Capcom is just like when that came out, I was just like, y'all couldn't believe
yeah,
that. But that was also off of Jada Toys. Jada Toys doesn't make Street Fighter.
yeah.
Marvel doesn't make Gameverse.
I agree. I agree 100% with that. Um, Now, you bring up a very good point because it wouldn't shock me if they just make a new Hulk that's a little bit bigger, kind of like the Juggernaut that released with that Gamerverse too, and it's going to be essentially like that. And like, here's the thing that always gets me about Hasbro, and I say this to people all the time, but they got fucking balls. The fact that they'll say, "Here's Maximum Spider-Man." Oh, but by the way, here's an entire Spider-Man wave right after.
Right
Like,
after.
they don't know how to like, or they just do it on purpose. Like where they're like, just shut the fuck up and buy what we give you, and that's it. Because like
Shut up, consume product. Shut up,
yeah,
consume
because what
product.
I said to people, I was like, wouldn't the logical thing would be if you make Spider Man first in the Maximum line, then you make Hulk. So you're gonna make one small, one big. Logically, would be one small, one big, right? So the next one they made Deadpool, which I thought was such a stupid one. I said it should have been Daredevil. Like if you would have done Daredevil maximum line where he has maximum articulation, he articulates just like the Spider Man, and he has hands and he has cool nunchuck things and the staff and what all that stuff, and he comes with like maybe like that cross that you sit him on the roof.
There you
Like
go. That's what I'm talking
people,
about.
yeah, people would be like lining up to buy that figure, and instead you give us Deadpool. Like
Posable
I just
nunchucks, bendy wise
all the stuff,
on
yes,
the boom. Like, oh man,
yes. I said there's like so many things like. Then I said, all right, and if you're going to do another big maximum, it should be Thor. And finally, maybe fucking finally, you'll give us a cloth wired cape because these damn vinyl capes are heavier than the figure. And half the time, you can't even stand the damn figure. You can't pose him. Forget posing him because
that's
it's
one
just
thing I
impossible.
give McFarlane, because
Yeah.
those cloth capes, they make a big difference, man. Like when I came back and started buying a couple of those McFarlanes,
Yeah.
those capes are everything, and I don't miss the plastic ones. And now, especially the females, because they have such small feet, it's very you have
Hmm.
to lean them so much forward. It looks very unnatural, like
Yeah. Yeah.
because they look like they don't stand like that. The
Dude,
cloth capes,
I was
huh?
just watching the last Hasbro live stream, right? And they
All
had
right.
they had a gladiator and that chick.
Yeah, I was just
And
looking at it. Death Strike, lady, the Death, whatever. I know you're talking
they're
about.
not standing. They're leaning on the capes because the
Man, they have
capes are
to.
so heavy that they can't stand them freely. And that's like, come on, man. Like you've been now at the same line here for years now, and you're starting to give us a maximum, and yet we're still with the vinyl capes. Like we got to start coming up with the fabric, man. And I think then people will be like, all right, I can justify a price increase when things justify it. Like now I'm
Or
totally fine with it,
another
but
repeat of the figure, because now this one is different. And I mean, I don't know how the math is on it either, but I would have to assume, I'm just guessing. I would assume those capes are pretty thick. I would
yeah, yeah,
assume that those capes cost more than that thin fabric. So
I
wouldn't you
agree.
save
I
money
agree.
by just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because that is thin fabric. If you was to
Much
put it on,
cheaper.
you could see through.
Yeah,
So I would think it would also save money,
I
But
would agree.
then is that admitting that they're going the McFarlane route? Is that admitting that is it an ego thing? It's
I
like,
have no
no, this is
idea.
we're sticking with the vinyl and that's it. I don't know how that
I have
goes.
no idea,
But the
man. It's
cloth
so
capes that make a
irritating.
big difference, and
Big time.
especially some of the oversized ones, because they have
Yeah,
regular ones. Then you have the short ones like Shazam and Power Girl have shorter
yeah.
ones. Then Batman has some regular, and you got like Robin got some really exaggerated. And I like some of those, especially with Batman. You want them to get somewhat exaggerated because part of him posing is like when he's up there on the top and he has
The
the cape a
caper all
certain
around him.
way and it's blowing in the back. You want to
Yeah.
be almost like Spawn. You
Oh
kind of
yeah.
want to like, I want to do that myself. When you get the
Yeah.
vinyl, you're stuck with the artist's rendition. However he felt in the boardroom, that's what you're stuck with, and that's it.
Yeah. That's crazy to me because when you get a figure, and this is the thing that drives me crazy about GI Joes is they always have like those vests over the figure, and now you can't really fuck with the ab articulation
Really?
because now he's being blocked by the vinyl vest of like
Mm.
his like tactical vest or whatever it is. It's like impossible to get them into like the pose that you like. I don't know, like maybe if you need them like bent over shooting like this, it's very
Right.
hard to do that because the vest is blocking it from you even getting even close to that. But I get that why they put them on there because, like I say, I understand the vinyl cape. You want
Right.
like Doctor Strange has to have his iconic cape with the big collar. I totally get it, but it's like if you gave a just like I said this too on a stream, if you just gave me a vinyl collar with a fabric cape, I'm good too. Like everything doesn't have to be fabric. You can just maneuver around things if you need to.
Right.
But I think we're getting to a point now with toys like you said, like McFarlane moved forward, and McFarlane's losing the license next year anyway, so he's just pounding these figures out now. But at least you're getting fabric wired capes. That are you because you like the Transformer stuff? Do you like the blockies? Do you see
Oh,
those
yeah, I
blockies?
did. I did this. I got a blocky Soundwave. So
Okay,
I'm big on blocky. I like
yeah.
blockies. I like the
So you like the
idea
right?
behind it.
You see they're making superhero ones now, and even
I saw
Superman has
Deadpool.
a cloth wired cape.
I saw Deadpool. That's what I saw so far. I haven't seen the other
Yeah,
ones, but I saw Deadpool, and that's been my thing. The reason blockies I like blockies is because it's kind of like Legos. You get to put it together, right?
I agree. Yeah,
Then, secondly, you're gonna tell me that most of this money is coming from shipping it to China, so that somebody else could put it together. Fam, I'll do that myself. Just give it to me. Put
hell
the
yeah.
pieces in the box. I got this. It's not a science project. And after I do it the first 1 or 2 times, I'm pretty sure I'll get nice at this, and I'll be
Yeah,
knocking them out. I could put blockies together when I'm watching TV now without even like I already know what the arm goes. Boom, 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 unless it's a bigger one that I've never
yeah,
seen
yeah,
before. So I love
yeah,
blockies. I think they're different. I don't think they're for everybody because they do like I got the Soundwave blocky. I mean, they're not they're not gonna if they're looking for the realism, right? If
yeah,
you're coming from McFarlane, you're probably gonna have a problem with that because
yeah,
McFarlane to me is more like I call them action statues. So they like action figures, but they
yeah,
statues. They can move, but not really. Like they
yeah.
can wave, but is he gonna look like he's really not really? You're not gonna
No,
put like I have Shao Kahn up there from Mortal Kombat. You're not gonna put him against Spider Man. Like it's a tree against somebody really nimble. You know what I mean? Those are like
yeah,
action statues. They move, but not really. You know. And then, so if you're coming from that and you really appreciate the sculpting on it, which is what McFarlane's about, the sculpting, right? Then
yeah,
you're probably not gonna like blockers, right? You're probably gonna be like, this is too basic for me.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if you're coming from somewhere else, if you're coming from like Motu or something like that, where that doesn't look as realistic, that they didn't even have articulated elbows. Like for the, let's talking about the higher, the
yeah,
bigger
yeah,
ones.
yeah,
A lot of people like the classics. So if you go with that, then blockies probably would be for you. And blockies, I'll be picking them up without thinking about it. Like I said in the video, I grab 3 4 boxes, throw them in the car. Who cares? $5.
wow,
Whatever. Even the bigger ones, $8. The biggest Soundwave, I think it was like $30, $40, and it's like the box was like this big. It took me like 4 hours to put them together or something. I was taking my time. So
that's sick.
that's another thing. You get to sit down with them. It turns it into Legos. Legos, you get to identify with it. You get to turn it into something you feel like you did that. With
Yeah,
figures, we open it up. It's like, yo, this is crazy. You put it there, like, and I'm good. All
yeah,
right, and I'm out of here. With blockies, before you get to that point, it forces you to spend some time with it. So I
yeah.
appreciate that right there
It's
with
intimate.
blockies.
You put as you're putting it together, you're having like a little a moment where it's like a double whammy to me. Like it takes you back to when you were a kid and you had Legos and you built something, and then it also has that accomplishment where now you have an action figure in your hand and it's like you just opened up an action figure. So it's like a double whammy. So you still get that like that Lego love as well as the oh shit, it's an action figure too now.
It is. You can actually pose it, and
Yeah.
then the bigger ones too. The smaller ones not so much, but the bigger ones they're more sturdy than I thought they would have been. Like the
Okay.
Soundwave I got.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is not that bad. He actually has a magnet. He talks. He lights up and everything.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm like,
Okay.
this is not bad at all. Especially for the price. We're talking about like $40. I think that
Yeah.
was top. I
Yeah.
could deal with
Yeah.
that all day.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think
For
that's
real.
because they're just printing it out and they're giving it to you with some instructions.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I like
That's
Blocky.
great.
So to answer your
Yeah.
question, I do like Blockies. It's something different, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm just like even they're having wired cloth capes with Superman and stuff like that, and it's like, well, how is Blocky's going to give us wired cloth capes, and Marvel Legends is still giving us the same tired vinyl shit? I think eventually, that's why, like, if the Maximum line sticks around, I think that's how they're going to address it. Like they're going to start giving you like a Maximum Doctor Doom, and this time he's going to have a cloth cape, and a Maximum Doctor Strange with a cloth cape and this guy with the cloth. So it forces you to go, God damn it! Now I need the cloth. Like I need the cloth cape. Like I have the Walmart exclusive Doctor Strange that came with all that stuff and the blue head,
Hmm.
and I have the 2-pack with Wong.
All right.
So to me, it's like it's the same Doctor Strange. It's
It
just
is.
painted differently. So it's like what you'll do with maximum wise is you'll give him toe articulation and a fabric cape, and people will be forced to buy because for them they're spending $55 or whatever it's going to be to get the cape because, like you said, they'll go on eBay and be like, well, it's $50 for a Doctor Strange style cape instead of like I'm a big do-it-yourselfer.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a sewing machine. I'll be like, you know what, man, just give me fucking fabric, give me some wires, and I will figure it out myself.
And let me
But
ask you right there,
yeah,
doesn't that make it deeper for you? Doesn't that make it more personal for you?
I
If
yeah, oh yeah, one
doesn't
hundred
it
percent.
make you feel like yo, I contributed to this? Look what I
Yeah,
did. I made
oh
this my
yeah,
own. Now, if
yeah,
somebody else has the same exact figure, all of a sudden they're not saying I got that figure. They're saying, yo, hold up, but how come yours got this
yeah.
going on? Now all of a sudden yours is standing out, and now you standing there like I did that, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying like,
dude.
yeah, you did that. You say, yeah, I did that. You know,
And you know what? Like once you learn, like you said with the blockies, once you learn one, so once you sew the cape once, okay, give me a Batman pattern, give me this pattern, give me that, and you just go from there. And now my first instinct, dude, when I get figures, is the first thing is to cut off the vinyl cape if it's glued on,
mm-hmm.
cut that shit right off. Let's get the fabric, give me the wires, and I will make it a wired cape because, like I do this thing called play motion. So
All
it's
right,
kind of like stop motion, but you're essentially playing with the figure. Your hand can be in the shot and all that shit. So my first thing is, can I use it in play motion? So it needs to be able to. I need to bend this thing however I need to bend it. So vinyl capes are an absolute non-factor. I got to take them out.
right. You
So
can't do nothing with it.
when I started doing that, my first instinct now is immediately take the vinyl cape off, just throw it, fuck it, your junk, and immediately make a fabric cape with it. But it would be nice if it just came with it.
It would. It would
You know
be
what I'm saying?
nice,
That's what
but
I'm saying.
I
Like
think
it,
for some reason I just feel like they not. I don't feel like they're gonna do it just for all the wrong reasons. I don't
yeah,
think that is anything. I think it's.
yeah,
I think it's like Coke trying to be like Pepsi or Pepsi trying to be like Coke. They're like, no, 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 no. Just because they did that, we can't do
yeah,
that. I think
yeah.
it's something like that for now. But
Oh
not for
yeah,
nothing. Since we're talking about Tide, I mean, if you ask me, I got no proof. Can't prove it. But I don't see Todd just giving up the license. I see Todd dropping. I see
mm,
Todd dropping it and being like, "Oh man, did I do that? That's crazy." And because he's getting into Marvel, he got the Marvel statues in the
yeah. I
collectible
saw
section.
that.
You know what I'm saying? I think that he's just trying to show and prove, like, yo, fam, look what I can do with these statues. Give me a little bit more. Give me a 7-inch Marvel line. I wouldn't be
Mm,
surprised if he asked for that because that's how he can make it different, right?
yeah.
They can keep the 6-inch line. That's fine. Give me a 7-inch line. That he loves
Do you,
7 inches.
do you enjoy Do you enjoy McFarlane toys, or how do you feel about them? No, right?
Nah, I'm not. So
Yeah,
I
'cause
like
I'm not a big fan either.
McFarlane. I like McFarlane as a person for what he did for comics back in the days. I was around when Image Comics first came up, and he
Yeah,
took
yeah,
Jim Lee and took them all and did his own thing. I appreciate that him, being a trendsetter and being a entrepreneur and doing everything he had to do for us
yeah, yeah,
in the community. As far as 7-inch, I did a video why I don't like DC Multiverse of figures,
right on.
and it was really just because in the beginning, especially, he's improved throughout time. But man,
Yeah,
in the beginning, there was some growing pains. I don't know if you remember, like the Green Arrows and the Martian Manhunters, and there
yeah,
was just so many figures that I was like, these are disgusting. Like it looked like shellac. I just couldn't do anything with it. It felt cheap, and I was just like, this is not my speed.
yeah, yeah,
Plus, Plus, I was around when I was getting the DC Multiverse in the red boxes. I was getting them 6-inch figures. I was getting, remember, the DC collectibles that had
I
DC
remember. Yeah,
icons. So out of nowhere, literally in one day, they just told me that everything I did doesn't mean nothing. And then was like,
yeah,
moving forward, we're going with this guy. And I'm like, you got to be careful. When you say it's my way or the highway, you got to be careful. Somebody says, pull over right here. That's my stop. And
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I did for a long time. And in the
yeah,
beginning, I think I just said this in my new video. I was coming across so many things. Mr. Freeze, the Reverse Flash, I put him back against my will. Thomas Wayne, I was coming across everything, but I just couldn't do it because I
yeah,
refused. I felt like they was twisting my arm. They was telling me, you're gonna do this. And I was like, no, I'm not
yeah.
gonna do that. So I stood away from it. When I did the why I don't like DC Multiverse.
Oh shit! I just lost them. Yeah, yeah. I can't hear you. We lost them. I lost them. I can't hear you. I don't know if you can still hear me. All right, cool. Yeah, I lost you. Well, we could catch Clevva at Cleva's Multiverse. You could catch this great conversation while he fixes his audio. We're gonna just fill in the blank here. Um, we're having this great conversation. I mean, it sucks when the audio just cuts out, but it happens. It happens here all the time with me. So please don't worry about it. Um, but yeah, you can catch him over there. You can now catch all these great kind of takes that he has. But I listen. You know how I feel. Everybody knows who watches this channel. So
Can you hear me now?
yes, here we go. We got you back.
All
Yeah,
right, there you go. I
yeah.
just for some reason I had to like take it off and put it back
Right
on.
on. Yeah, I
I
get
don't
it.
know.
It
I
happens.
did I did kind of like nip it a little bit,
Okay.
so maybe that did something.
Yeah,
My fault.
it's
Sorry
all
about
good.
that.
It's all good.
What
It's
were
all
we? I forgot what we were
Well,
saying.
you know what? It's a great segue mover because we'll get away from McFarlane and everything that he's because like when dude, I'm his biggest. I'm in the same boat as you. I love what he did with comic books in the '90s. I loved really his art style. But when it comes to toys, man, he wants me to. I want to rip my hair out with some of the decisions that he's made over the years with
Yeah,
toys. But I want to get to the Devastator because you brought it
sure.
up and what it means to you and because I see a lot of Transformers behind you. I want to know what Transformers you collect. What are the ones that really stand out to you? Because I'm a sucker. I'm a pain in the ass that's really what it is I want everything to scale correctly. So if it's 112 that's on my shelves, I want a 112 scale Optimus Prime. So if it's 18, 12, 24 inches tall, that's the Optimus Prime that I would get. What is your go-to for Transformers? What are the ones that you immediately have to pre-order when they go on sale? And what are your favorite toys that like in terms of Transformers that are behind you on your shelves?
I mean, so Transformers, I'm an '80s baby. I was born in 1981, so
Yeah,
Transformers G1 is definitely where I'm at.
yeah, yeah,
And I always, all right. So you're gonna say why I like Transformers so much? A lot of people, I feel like I'm a little bit opposite. A lot of people collect because they're trying to recreate their childhood. They're
yeah, yeah,
trying to get things that they had when they was younger.
yeah.
They're trying to recreate those moments that they had. And I'll be the first one to tell you, if I had it when I was younger, I probably don't want it right now. That's why I don't do Motu. I had it all. I had Castle Grayskull. I had everybody.
Yeah.
I want what I didn't have. I'm trying to make the childhood that I could never have. Transformers was always expensive. There was always above. There was not $2 GI Joes. Transformers was always more
Yeah,
than
yeah,
everything else.
yeah,
I came up, my brother, not living the way I'm living now. I came up on paper food stamps.
yeah,
I
yeah,
came up on Section 8 housing. And just to be clear, in the 80s and the early 90s, food stamps were not an EBT card. It wasn't a credit card. It wasn't cool. It wasn't like, oh, what's my PIN number?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, paper food stamps was a problem. Like you was getting clowned. Nobody wanted to be that guy.
yeah,
And that's how we were living. So if we was on paper food stamps, Transformers was out of the question.
yeah,
There's no way that and then I was gonna be able to get one because it would just have to be on happenstance. We just have to be happen passing by. Mommy has to have a couple dollars. I have to be behaving. It has to be standing right there in front of me. All the stars have to align.
yeah, yeah,
That's for one. What are the chances of me getting six? It's not gonna happen.
yeah,
So I knew better than to ask. Sometimes you like, yo, ask your mom's like, don't even ask her right now. I'm not going nowhere. So I can tell you
yeah.
right now, the answer is no. If I ask her, the answer is no.
No, yeah,
I
yeah,
knew that it wasn't gonna happen. So every time I saw Devastator, or every time I saw Transformers, Optimus Prime didn't do it for me. Megatron didn't do it for me. But when I saw that Devastator in the Transformers movie, right, and then I'm seeing him pick up I love the Dinobots. I saw him just pick up the Dinobots and just chuck them like, no, I was like, yo, this guy's a problem. And since I was a kid,
yeah,
I was like, yo, it's all about Devastator because he's the Transformer. Like every other Transformer has to look up to him. Every other one. Even Optimus Prime, even Megatron, or they all like this. He's the
yeah,
first combiner that meant anything. Before him, there was none. And after him, none of them really added up. Everybody else after Devastator is a copy and paste of how can we make another Devastator.
Devastator,
I
yeah, yeah,
have Superion. Superion didn't do it for me as a kid. It was Devastator. All the other ones, they're not the same.
yeah,
I can see you trying to be like Devastator, the colors, everything about them. So now, did he come out before? He came out before. Came out with Combiner Wars. Came out with Unite. All these other ones. But when I saw those, first of all, I wasn't collecting Transformers. So I was like, I'm not gonna take that first potato chip. I know what this means,
Yeah.
because Transformers, when I started collecting Marvel Legends, we're talking about $17, 17.84 at Walmart. Transformers are not $17. Not the ones I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm looking at leader class Transformers. I'm looking at Titan class Transformers. I'm looking at least Voyages. Deluxes are cool, but those are 20. Those little smaller ones. They cool,
Yeah.
but I'm really looking at the bigger ones. Those are $50. Those are $60. Those are $100. Those
It
are
was expensive.
$200.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at $17 figures, and then I'm looking at the Transformers. I'm like, yeah, $50. Because I never think about one. You tell me, yo, it's only $40. How much is it for the team? The whole team. And trust me, it's always going to be the one you're not thinking about that's going to smack you. You know what I
Oh yeah.
mean? It's never going to be like, oh, Wolverine and Cyclops. No, how much is Nightcrawler? You're not even thinking about them until like you get all the favorites, and then you're like, Nightcrawler's $120. Yeah, how much is Kitty Pryde? You ever think about that?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about those side characters. I was only, I know that's how it works. So I think
Yeah.
about that ahead of time. Like Mayfex, when you be like, oh, Mayfex is way better. How much is the whole Justice League in Mayfex? And I started
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
about that. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm not really trying to get involved in that because it's just too much money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when the prices started keep going up, they started to level up with Transformers. Because remember, they don't pay for IP for Transformers the same way they don't pay for GI Joes. That's why you guys get so many backpacks and buns and all that other stuff, because they don't got to pay IP. That's their property. Hasbro owns GI Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hasbro owns Transformers. They don't got to pay 20% to nobody. So we get that extra value baked in.
Yeah.
Whereas Disney, every 5 minutes, they want to raise. Oh, my movie sucked? That's crazy. Give me a raise. Oh, you can't sell Black Panther? That sucks. 20%. It doesn't make a difference. They don't care.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between those two right there. So when the price went up for Marvel Legends and it started matching Transformers, it is also something to be said about how long you've been collecting. How long? My first Spider-Man, cool. My 10th Spider-Man, cool. My 37th Spider-Man is not hitting the same, my brother. Like, I've been doing this for a
Yeah.
long time, and all you're doing is, like you said, giving me hands that I don't want. And now I'm starting to look at characters like Soundwave and Optimus Prime, and I'm starting to look at Shockwave, and I'm like, yo, fam, I don't have any
Of these.
Shockwaves,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I got 37 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's the same exact price. And a lot
Mm.
of people aren't. I don't think as many people collect Transformers because I'm finding them a lot
No.
more than Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
Marvel
No. Yeah.
Legends is more popular. It's
Yeah.
more pop culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Transformers is more 80s babies,
Yeah. Yeah.
more that era. You have to be like 30, 40 to be really into it. Are the
Transform.
younger
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
Obviously. But now we're talking about Beast Wars and Earth Sparks, and we're not looking for the same things.
Yeah.
Those younger ones, they don't want G1. I want G1.
G1. Yeah. Me too. I'm in the same
So
boat.
that's what I'm trying to do right now. I got the Megatron G1. This is the Unite Soundwave. That's Unite Soundwave, but the G1 one just came out like 2 days ago, and it's like I didn't get the pre-order. I'm probably gonna get it. But this is the click right here. So it's like Optimus, Shockwave, Soundwave, and Starscream. So I got them all right here.
That's awesome.
I'm always gonna be more villain or anti-hero than hero. I'm
Yeah.
just
Right.
I see characters like Captain America. I'm like, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
That sounds nice. I appreciate you, man. That sounds nice. I don't ever see that being the case. You know what I mean? Like, this is why, like, you ever watch The Boys?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Son, if that is real life, if people have powers, man, this will be everybody be trying to homeland their way out of this. You're only gonna respect somebody that's stronger than you. You're gonna be telling everybody to get ahead with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saving nobody. I'm not here for a photo op. What are you talking about? That's the reality. Nobody's not gonna, like, Spider-Man, like I always say, I would not be a struggling photographer. I'm not gonna be a photographer knowing I owe the landlord the lady rent money. No, I gotta get my money, man. You seen the movie Jumper?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's
The
over.
first thing he did, he jumped into the bank. Boom. Put it up. The first thing he did. Then after that, he's like, okay, now we can just chill. Like, I did everything. I took it. Everybody would do that. Come on, stop playing. Who's going to work? You might help somebody after they don't know what you did last night.
Yeah, I guess you're talking about a little compensated for all that work that you're going to be doing in the future.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to pay the bill. We got to pay the mortgage, man.
So right now, would you say that Transformers is the main line that you get? Because like Marvel Legends is trying to trail off. Because like I'm in the same boat as you, man. There's only been so many Wolverines I can buy before it's just like, well, how many more of the same Wolverine do I need? Like, is it now the Transformers that's tickling the fancy, if you will?
Yeah. So I want to say, in the past 6 months, man, I've been going hard on Transformers. I probably got close to like 80
Oh, wow.
Transformers. I got a bunch of them, especially up there.
Yeah.
But I've been going hard on all the G1s and trying to get those. I got some blockies. I do like blockies. That's where I'm at right now. I
Yeah.
jumped off DC. Once you tell me there's a hole in the ship, I'm not. Listen, I'm not waiting for the last lifeboat. You
Yeah.
guys can stick
No. Yeah.
around for this if you want to. If he lost the license, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be discontinued. You're buying discontinued product, man.
Yeah.
So if they had something that, like, I got the red Cyborg Superman. That's dope. I think that's official. If I come across the blue one, yeah, I would get it. Am I getting everything he's dropping? Nah, I'm really pretty much off DC Multiverse because I don't know what the future holds. What's Mattel gonna do? I don't know. Like, I wasn't too happy with them last time. Now that I look back at them, I know more now than I did before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I still hold up I still have those old Mattel figures. I picked them up and I look at them. I'm like, no, man, these weren't the best. You know what I mean? So I'm looking to see what's going on with that. Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends is at a point with me where I just feel like they're just trying to milk it. I think it's a bad time to jump into it for anybody who's just getting into it right now. Like, I feel really bad for anybody who's saying, hey, I want to collect now on September 18th in 2025. Like, yo, I hope you got a good job, my brother, because
Yeah. For real.
before I used to go to Walmart and come home with garbage bags on a whim, not even thinking about it. Now it's like,
No, I agree.
the whole store, it looks like that one aisle just got ransacked and everything else in the store looks good, but that one just looks like a third world
Just
country.
got just destroyed. Yeah, that
It looks
happens all the
horrible,
time by me too. Because
you know.
like, and it's the, like you just said, like, it's the price. When people get into this, you got to be like, yo, man, just know, like, because like last year, my buddy he was a big GI Joe fan when he was a kid. And he didn't realize how far the classified line had come. So he
Mhm.
wasn't really into it. And then one afternoon he came over to my house, and I just happened to was doing some photography, and I had like a lot of Joes out, and he was just picking them up one by one, and he said the same thing like I said about Wolverine. This is what they look like now, and I was just like, yeah,
So he was used to them 3 3/4.
yeah,
So he
yeah,
never even saw them 6 inch.
exactly. So he
Oh,
like,
forget about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is the first time he had, so he's just staring at them, and he's just like looking at me, and it was like in that moment I could literally see in his face him like him go, oh fuck, this is gonna bankrupt me because I'm gonna jump off this cliff, like, and he jumped off that cliff, man. A week later, he hit me up and he was just like, "Yeah, I just bought 2 his tanks on eBay," and I
Oh,
was just like,
on
"Jesus Christ,
eBay.
yeah."
Oh,
I
he
was like,
paid a grip for those,
yeah, I was
man.
like, "Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, dude!" I was like, "You," I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm in." He's like, "I'm buying them by the lot." He goes, "I'm
And
gonna,
not one, but two his tanks.
yeah, yeah,
One is enough. You know what I'm saying? One is, I mean, yeah, that's a big hobby, man. I've seen
yeah,
some big G.I. Joe collectors on YouTube.
yeah,
I've never gotten into Joe's always because I felt like, but I do like Joe's, but I've never followed them enough that I can
okay,
tell you more than a handful of what's
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah,
You know, I can tell you the Destros, the Cobras, the Lady Baronesses, the Dukes, the Roadblocks, the twins that look the same, the ninjas,
yeah,
and after that it gets kind of like
dicey, right? Yeah,
Destro, like the
yeah,
mains, and they pushing all type of the scuba specialist, a communications expert,
yeah,
this guy with a pit bull, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. You know,
yeah.
I'm not even gonna try. And plus, the number, I think they were like up to the hundreds already, right? Where
They're
they at with the numbers?
almost up to 200 now. I think they're up to like
There's
170.
no way I wouldn't even try it. I wouldn't even try at this point.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But shout out to the people who do because I've seen some very,
yeah.
very good Joe collections.
There's a buddy of mine
And
on here that I met him through doing this. I interviewed him. He was like one of my first guys that I had on. I've become a friend with him since then. And he army builds with classified only Cobra. And man, when I see his collection, it's like that to me. That's what GI Joe was for.
you
You
talking
know,
about Woody? Woody
Woody
two two
Triple
two?
Deuce. Yes, he's my
Yeah,
buddy. Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
He comments on my videos and I comment on his too back and forth.
yeah,
Matter of fact, when you were just talking, I was talking about that's a collection out of respect. When I say I watch his videos and I watch
dude.
his
Yeah,
Facebook videos, and he's such a humble dude, and
yeah,
I come to him in the comments a lot, and I ask him about it. I'm like, you're the GI Joe expert.
oh yeah,
Make no
for real, he
mistake
is.
about that.
Yeah,
When I see he just picked up 30 of these for you. I'm
yeah,
like, yo, it's bananas, and then that's on display
yeah,
because your man still got the ones on card in the back. Like,
yeah,
oh no, this is for the kid, like for later.
yeah,
Like, I respect that so much, and I respect everything he has with that Joe, the setups and everything. I
yeah,
wish I had that amount of space
yeah,
that he has. But yeah,
dude.
I think I caught that one because when we talked last week, I think I started going through your thing, and then when I saw you with Woody, I stopped right here, and I
Yeah,
started watching that one. Yeah, that's what it
yeah.
was.
Woody. It's because like when I met him, and he was watching these videos, and we kind of like related to each other. And then I was like, "Come on the show, let me talk to you." And that's when I kind of realized that he army builds with GI Joe, and he had the 3 3/4 collection when he was a kid, and then he went to this, and I was just kind of like, man, like I used to love Marvel Legends, but like and it's like you said, because Hasbro owns the property, they were able to kind of do more with the classified line because you get a lot, for the price that you pay for classified figures, you get a lot. You get a
You
lot of
do.
stuff
You
with
know,
them.
without question. Without
Yeah,
question.
and I'm just kind of
I
like,
always get jealous.
yeah,
Every
and
time I look at them, I'm like, damn, man, it's so dope, man.
they're really nice figures, man. And I'm kind of like, to a point now where Marvel Legends is like, I mean, you want to talk about nitpick? I nitpick what I want now,
You
and
have
it's
to.
very selective. But when GI Joe comes out, man, it's hard for me not to turn around and go, let me buy 3 of those because, like, you can
Let me
army
ask
build
you
with
a
those.
question
Yeah, go
because I know you probably know about this.
yeah.
What's up with how do you feel about Valiverse?
I like Valaverse. I do. I'm very happy that his price is going down.
Hmm.
His figure's gonna be $27 now. Um, they pair well with Joe's.
They do,
I
right?
have
Yeah.
quite a few Valaverse figures. I like the ability that he gives you the ability to customize his figures, which I feel like every company should fucking do. Like the thing that drives me crazy about GI Joe is they won't have the same head peg. Like for instance, I got 2 different versions of Outback,
All
but
right.
he has 2 different heads. There's an old head, he's all gray, and then a red head when he's younger. But the head pegs are different. So if I wanted to take the young head and put it on the old body, I can't do that because the head pegs don't match. So it's simple things like that where it's like it's the same figure. Why can't I have custom ability with it? Because
It's
I'm a
by
big
design. It's by
I
design.
know it's to make you do the dumb shit, but it's like to me,
Yeah.
it's like I'm already you got my money. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
get the figure, but can you if you sweeten the pot by telling me, oh, you by the way, you can swap heads. That okay, now I'm definitely getting the figure, and that's the one thing I love about Valaverse is the ability to swap all the heads. You can fucking use those. You can use those figures for so many things. Like if I don't want to use GI Joes for bad guys like mercenaries, I always use
Hmm.
Valaverse because they look more like mercenaries than Joes to me because they have like more of a realistic look to them. Even his bad guys like all
Hmm.
his like militant bad guy things that he has, like the swarm and all that shit. I like them too because they compare well um with Marvel Legends. Like some of his figures, they look like they would go good in AIM as an AIM soldier or Hydra agent and
Got
shit like
you.
that. So he's got it's a pretty good line. I'm a big fan of Monster Force. I don't know if you've messed with them yet, but I like
No.
those. Those are
But hold
really
up.
good.
Does Valor just real quick because I'm actually learning right here.
Yeah, yeah,
Does
yeah.
he make up like does he make because he's not it's not based on anything, right? He just
It's
makes up guys as he goes along.
it's
Like I want to make a
basically
scout sniper.
it's basic. He created his own lore. So he created
Got you.
his own comic book that has all these characters in it, and then it's basically set in a like kind of like a post-apocalyptic world where the government has fallen and the action force have now become like
Okay, got you.
the police or whatever of this crazy world. And so every character has a backstory, and they have the mission card on the back of the box, so you can read a little bit about the figure and understand what they are and who they are. So they
All
have a
right.
little bit of lore. He's building his world and his lore. So you can like because you can go to his website and get the first couple comic books for free, so you can read about it if you want to like understand about it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
whole time I was thinking to myself, 'cause I know a little bit about him. I watch his videos and I see that he has a Hasbro background. And he started the Battleverse, started his
yeah,
own
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But I was always looking at I said this relates to GI Joe's very well, and I was like, but this is not GI Joe. But I was like, how does this
yeah,
coincide with it and still not get looked at as something, because I know that it's a respectable line. I see a lot of people doing it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm just wondering, like, where did it come from? So you just broke it down because I
yeah.
was like, is he just making these guys up? When I see the thing, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, scout sniper, but is it just like a sniper guy or? So now you're telling me there's lores behind it because I
It is.
wanted
Yeah.
to look more up about that.
Everybody has like a code name, just like GI Joe. And everybody has their own like little backstory and shit like that. So he kind of knows what he's doing. He's building a pretty good a toy line. I enjoy his toys. I like the fact that he's another one who just gives like kits away. Like you can just go to his website and just get a box of guns or like a thing with like body armor and guns and all that. That kind of stuff goes a long way for me because it's like, well, now I can customize even more figures because I love customizing. I love making dioramas and
Yes, I
all
love
that
it
stuff.
too.
I love doing all that stuff. So when you give me the ability to customize the figure beyond, so like if I buy two or three of the same figure, I'm one of those guys that I'll take the body, swap the head, and now I have a whole new soldier,
Hmm.
and I'm good with that. I don't need to go any further than that. So just like I said, simple things like that will go a long way for me. And the one thing that really upsets me is Hasbro doesn't do it. Even with Marvel Legends, the head pegs are never the same, even though it's the same fucking figure.
I mean, they do it by design. They always
Yeah,
they always thinking about the next one, and I
yeah,
don't think
yeah,
they care about this one so
yeah,
much.
yeah,
They take. I think there's something to be said about being in first place, right?
yeah, yeah.
First place never feels like they're in a race.
Mm,
Second place understands 100% I'm in a race.
yeah.
First place is just like I just gotta just jog a little bit and I'll stay right here. He got to catch up, and if he don't catch up, it is what it is. And second place and third place is gunning and gunning and gunning, and they know that they're in a race. So
Yeah,
there's something to be said about: do they feel threatened? Do they feel like they have to? Do they feel like this is gonna move anyway? Like, what are you
yeah, yeah,
talking about? Matter of fact, let me just make less product, have you guys fight over it, and then you guys it's gonna flow regardless. Watch
yeah,
this.
for real.
Everything you're saying is not going to equate to anything.
Yeah,
This is what I try to do on my channel, my brother. And this is what I try to just like talk to people, let them know, like, you can make the decisions you want. And to be clear, I'm not exempt from any of this. I use myself as patient zero all the time.
yeah,
This is where I get it from. This is where I pull from. Everything I always give a story, something personal that happened to me because it has to relate while I'm scripting it. I write all of this down. I'm not just freestyling it. So when I'm writing it, I'm like, okay, well, these are the facts. This is the point that I'm trying to get across. Now I have to give a personal story to it. And if I can't relate to it or I can't give something from my life about that, then this whole thing has to go because I'm not talking about something I read about. I have to
yeah,
talk about something I lived about. And this is what's going to make it resonate. And
yeah,
if they
yeah.
can't get that, then what am I doing?
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's how I look at these things.
Oh, yeah, man. So let me ask you this question, as I always close out the interview portion of this show. Do you see a shelf life on your collecting days, or do you see it going until the wheels fall off?
I see me going to the wheels fall off, but as a curator, you know what I mean.
Okay, okay,
When I'm in that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. As far as just I'm at I think we all go through phases as
yeah,
collecting. There's no way that you're gonna. It's like saying I'm one dimensional. No, everybody's three dimensional. Everybody has different sides to them. Nobody's the same all the
yeah, yeah,
time. You know what I mean? So I think we all start off needing everything. We have a blank shelf. We have one guy. We need everything. Everything looks good. And when we go to the shelf, to the store, we can take everything off the peg and it all makes sense. Every week we go, it gets a little bit different because now
yeah,
we have things on the shelf. So now it's like, oh, I got this, got this. Oh man, nothing here. Now we're starting to get this is how other lines come across a lot of times. You go there looking for Marvel Legends. There's nothing there. You're like, shit. DC Multiverse. What's going on over here? And then boom, now you go a little bit further down the aisle.
yeah,
Transformers is right behind that, and got Jurassic Park right behind that. So you start going down like, well, what is down here? What do I have to get something? Because I'm already to the point that I thought I was going to get something. This is where I'm at with this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm past that stage. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? I'm past that stage. I remember that I used to come home and I couldn't wait to open one. Now I might come home. I used to come home with a garbage bag. I wouldn't go to sleep until I opened all of them.
over, man.
Now I might come home with one and put in the closet. Like maybe tomorrow, man. I guess because it's not the same, right?
Yeah,
For all of them.
yeah,
So now I'm to the point where only some of them do that for me. Devastator. I couldn't go to sleep last week. I'll be the first one to tell you. I've been waiting for this guy for 30 years. So
that's
I've
cool.
been having Mixmaster just waiting for him. Mixmaster came in the box and my girlfriend fell asleep. And I'm looking at the box. I didn't even want to open. I didn't even want to open it. I was just looking at it. And I knew Mixmaster's his bottom left leg. And I'm like, this is it. This is this. And like,
Yeah,
I got devastated, fam. And I was looking at it for like 5 minutes. Like I was like, yo, come on, snap out of it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to like soak that in for a minute because I felt like I don't know if it sounds corny to you guys, but I felt like I was just like having a moment with my 10-year-old self. And I was just like, my brother,
hell yeah, no,
we
fuck
did
yeah,
it, fam. We did
yeah,
it, fam. Because we know what it's like to want. Everybody know what it's like to want.
yeah,
Yeah, we've all wanted something in the past. We've all had to give up something,
yeah,
But how many times do we get to go back and actually reclaim that?
hell yeah,
How many times do we just write it off and say, well, you know how it is.
yeah,
We got to take our losses, roll with the punches. It wasn't meant to be. But that really just came full circle for me. You don't understand? Like,
yeah,
it's really a big thing for me, Devastator. And this is why we could use this to get into something really quick, which is my curator's cut, right? So I got the More Than Just Toys, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
More Than Just Toys is my Friday thing. that'll be me talking about more than the toy, right? I'm not going to talk about the toy itself. So the topics that we've been getting, deeper things about it, the whys and what's going on with this, and then I don't want to do reviews per se. So there was a time where if you look back, I did like 3 months worth of reviews. Here's a
Okay.
fun fact I'll tell you right now because I already put it in my new video. I broke my leg last year, just right after Christmas, and I was done for 3 months. I couldn't get in front of the camera, but I had the channel going. And
Yeah.
if you know about YouTube, we get 365 days to get 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours to monetize this.
Yeah.
It starts off rip. The minute you drop your first video. My first video was my best video. And I was like, yo, if I lose this video, this is gonna reset everything for me. I'm not gonna want to do this anymore.
Well,
I
yeah.
have,
Yeah.
I have, I had like 400 subs off that. I got crazy. I said, yo, I can't. I gotta caught up my watch time off my first video. Most videos, you're lucky if your mother watches it.
Yeah.
You know what
Fact.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're lucky. It
Yeah.
takes hundreds of videos to get any type of traction. My very first video. So I was like, yo, I can't lose this. Then I broke my leg. So I was like, you know what? And I didn't have a strategy in the beginning. In the beginning, I knew that I wanted to do this, but I said, I don't know. What angle am I going to come with, right?
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I can't live stream. Nobody knows I exist. You know what I mean? I haven't built up any credibility. What am I going to do really?
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to drop 4 videos when I start the channel. They're all going to be completely different. First video I dropped, 5 things I wish I knew before I started collecting. Just very much the same thing I've been doing since that you see me, that you know me for. That's a talking video, discussion video. I wanted to see how that resonated. Second video was unboxing, was the Great Hulks versus each other. I said, let me see how that goes, see how that goes. Third one was a do it yourself, was me building an ice slide. I said, let me see how this goes, how that resonates.
Yeah.
Fourth one was a voiceover. All 4 completely different. I'm throwing different things at the wall to see what sticks, to see what the analytics are looking like, what is resonating, what's not resonating, what am I wasting my time with, what I'm not going to waste my time with. Because at the end of the day, we do this for the love, but at the end of the day, the numbers push what we're doing. Because if it doesn't make sense, what are we doing?
That's a
You
fact.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So but I broke my leg, and this is early in last year, and I remember I had a whole wave of the X-Men 97s. It just came in, and it had some other stuff. I say I'm just gonna have to shoot these and have my leg in the air and do some reviews, keep the channel going, just so I could drop one a week or keep things going.
Oh yeah.
I dropped, and I got to that point that let me tell you right now, I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I just I did not want to do any more reviews. I didn't want to talk about the figure. I just wanted to throw it away at that point. I was thinking to myself, if this is what this is like moving forward, I don't want to do
Fuck
this.
it. Yeah.
I don't want to be a toy reviewer. That's not what I want to do. It's cool every once in a while, but I can't imagine having a box right here and say I got to do these next 10 videos because the Big Bad Toy Store sent me this one. I got to do this one and this one. You got to see how far his neck goes back and how many times we're going to do figure gymnastics. You know what I mean? That doesn't really float my boat. And then I watch videos with people like Chartemus and he's like, it's not always cracked up to be, my brother. And I get that. I 100% get that. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I don't want to do right there. And I realized that. So I'm like, well, one thing I want more than anything, if anything was to get across from my channel, is I want collector upliftment, because I don't think that we get enough props being who we are and doing what it is that we do. So what does that mean? I mean that I feel like people look down on us. I feel like people laugh at us. I feel like people say, oh, you collecting or Spider-Man, Superman, or whatever. And I don't think how, whenever you point the finger at somebody, it's 3 pointing right back at you. Be careful when you criticize somebody, because I'll be quick to ask you a question like, well, I don't know. So I can show you what I've accomplished for the past 10 years. These are things that I've been doing. This is what I've sacrificed, and this is what I've disciplined. This is what I've grown all by myself. After work, can you show me something that you've been working on for the past 10 years, decade, any type of length of time besides accumulate debt? Show me something that you've been doing. Show me that you've been working on. And they don't really have anything.
Yeah.
But they're laughing at me. They're quick to tell us how we need to grow up. And I'm like, but grow up, like, I don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
You have to elaborate that more, because I don't like, and then they'll have like a chuckle, and it makes so much sense to them, right? And I'm looking at them like, you can't be serious, because I have no respect for you, because what you just said right now makes no sense. You're afraid. I'm not afraid to be myself. This is who I am.
That's the best
this
way
is
to say
what
it.
I do. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
This takes discipline. There's no way you're gonna be a collector and you're going to be bad with finances. You're going to burn out really quick. You're going to be on Facebook Marketplace talking about this ain't for me in 30 days. You're going to realize real quick this ain't for you.
Facts.
Pre-orders and making sure that, you're paying your bills and doing this. We all
Yeah,
got
bro.
girlfriends. We all got wives, right? We got lives and things that we're doing.
Oh
This Spider-Man is only cool as long as the mortgage and the rent is paid. The minute that anything drops, the minute that there's no fruit punch, the minute that there's no gas in the car, all of a sudden it's like, oh, what is this waste of time? So as a
yeah.
collector, we know we have that pressure on us, and we know we can never give them that out. We always have to be on our P's and Q's because the people closest to us will be the first ones to take this from us because they're watching us. They're in the house with us and say, you know what the problem is? The problem is you bought 37 Spider-Man. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Because they're watching us. So we have to be more disciplined
Yeah.
than other hobbies. We have to be we taking ridicule from other hobbies. And at the same time, this is a solo sport. It's like bodybuilding. This is not a team sport. We're doing this in isolation. Most of us are introverted. Most of us are in our house by ourselves, trying to reach out and communicate with people that are like-minded, just like us. The problem is there's a whole bunch of us, but we all spread out.
It's a fact.
We're not together. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So what I want from my channel more than anything, when people watch my videos, when people listen to the messages that I'm trying to put out there, it's because I'm trying to make sure that we're not the example that they're talking about. I want to make sure when people say, "Oh, it's those people," it's not us because
Yeah.
we're thinking smarter than that. And there's always going to be somebody that's dropping the ball. There's always going to be somebody that's not doing it. That's doing it for all the wrong reasons or whatever the case. I'm just trying to make sure, hey, is that you? Just double check real fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can burn out with this,
Yeah.
and not for nothing, it makes it harder for people like us. Because the more people that's in this industry or this the community or this culture that are pretending and they're taking up time and being scalpers and bots and trying to make money, it makes it harder for people like us who are really in this for the real reasons. And now we're having a hard time because we're competing with people who have no love for it.
Facts.
So that's what I'm trying to get out there.
Yeah.
You know what
No
I'm saying?
facts, dude. Yeah. Listen, that is a great way of putting it because my channel, I refused to do reviews as well because I felt like there is a bunch of guys who review toys already, and I always felt like you're an adult. You've already made a decision in your mind whether or not you want to buy that toy. Me telling you how nice and cool it is not going to sway you in any way. If you like that character or you like that line or you like whatever, you're going to buy it. It doesn't matter what I say, So I always felt like I wanted to bring a level of play to my channel, like where it's just like I can show you how cool the toy is, or I can just play with the fucking thing. And like when I first started this thing, I used to tell people all the time, I make this stuff for me in the hopes that you like it too. Like
There you go. I love that. I
if you
love
don't
that.
like it, I don't know what to tell you. I because I'm not making it for you. I'm making it for me. Like I if I could tell you how many times, and this is another thing that always happens around my channel where I'm always like, I'm out in my yard setting up toys, filming it, thinking in my head like, well, you're a fucking moron. You're playing with your toys. Like you said, it's because like the mortgage needs to be paid. There's the real life is still swirling in the background as you're sitting here in this moment doing whatever you're doing. So it's there, and you're already really ridiculing yourself. You're already judging yourself. So when someone says to me, "Well, this is so stupid. What are you doing with yourself?" It's like, well, I've already said that to myself. So nothing you can say to me is going to affect how I'm going to if whether or not I'm going to continue doing this because I'm not going to stop doing this because it brings me joy in a way that I can't describe to you. Because you have something that brings you joy that if I looked at it, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Because I don't get it. But I don't judge you because I don't get it. So
That's the point.
I always say
That's
if
the
you
point.
if you if you if you embrace yourself, no matter what it is, if it's you buy the toy, review the toy, put the toy on the shelf. If it's just talking about being a toy collector, whatever it is, as long as you do it and it's you're telling the truth, and you're not worried about being judged. You're not being worried about being ridiculed, and the passion for what you believe in and what you love is coming through. I don't really care at that point what anybody else thinks,
I
because
don't.
yeah,
Yep. I don't see you there when the mortgage got to get paid, and I don't see you there when the rent when it's time to fill up
facts.
the fridge and all this stuff. I really don't care. When I want your opinion, I'll ask you for it. And
Yeah,
if I didn't ask you for it, I really don't
facts,
care. And I think a lot of people don't get that part. They start volunteering things. You're like, who asked you? You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Yeah,
So here's another thing too. Like when I watch people who review and stuff like that, I can't help but feel like a lot of people are burnt out, right? How many? I've done reviews earlier, right? But I always say I'm never gonna do something and be like, I'm gonna just trash this. Like, oh my god, the figure's still in the box, and he's like, oh my god, this is trash. Why this guy's doing this? I can't believe another one. Blah blah blah. He hasn't even opened it yet. But in
Yeah.
my brain, I'm like, you knew all of that when you was in the store. So
Yeah.
why did you pick it up in the first place? Then you're gonna say something stupid like, "Well, this is my job. I have to review it." Stop it. This is not your job. You're trying to make it your job. If you need a job to pay for this job, this is not your job, my brother.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. You're using your real job to buy content. Here's the fact. Here's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is you didn't have any content. Without something in your hand, you have nothing to talk about. And when you went to Walmart and when you went to Target, you was just reaching for content. There was nothing there. So now you want to curse out McFarlane because you tired about this damn Batman is there. When the truth of the matter is, you don't have a content. So who you really mad at? You really mad at McFarlane, or you
Yeah.
mad at you because you don't got content? So now you want to pick
Yeah.
up this figure that you really didn't want, put him on a spinner, and just trash him for 32 minutes straight. First of all, why is it 32 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we
Yeah.
talking about? You don't even like the figure. So when I see that, what I see is people who are over consuming
Yeah.
because they feel like they want to keep something going. And all I took from that was, I said, Desmond, Clevva, don't ever let that be you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I follow people just to make sure. I never do what I see.
Would you
You know what I
say?
mean? Like, oh, this is a good one. Let me save this. I never want to be this guy. That
Yeah.
happens a bunch of times. There's a couple of people that I might sell. I'm like, yo, just to make sure I never. This guy cries a lot, complains a lot. I see a lot of that. I never want to complain because,
Yeah.
listen, if you come to me all the time, right, and you tell me, yo, my girl this, yo, my girl that, I hate my girl, I hate my girl. Eventually, you're gonna come to me and say, I said, stop right there. My brother, just break up with her, son. I'm tired of hearing about Shorty, son. Just break up with her. She not for you. So if you keep telling me how you don't like this and you don't like that, I'm gonna tell you this ain't for you, fam. Why are
Yeah.
you in this? Why are you always crying? You always got something to talk about. But wait a minute, is that what it is? That you don't have something to talk about? That's why you crying? Oh man, then you say that, then you start crying even more. So it's like, this is where I'm at. So I just try to make sure that I'm like, listen, this is what's bad about our genre.
Yeah.
Is there any other genre like ours where anybody feels that they could just jump in and do it? If somebody gets a new iPhone, does somebody feel like, oh man, I got the new iPhone, I'm gonna start a tech channel? Not really. You know damn well that you don't even know how to use the iPhone like that. You're not gonna run a channel like that. But we get somebody, with a Boost mobile account that's in their mom's basement with their Spider-Man, and they feel like, oh, I could do the same thing. And we oversaturated with that. And the problem is that outsiders look in and that's all they see. It's hard to separate the crowd. And that's
Hard.
what I'm just trying to
Guilty
bring
by
awareness to
association,
this.
man. Guilty by association. They lop everybody. Like when I came from again, see, coming from pro wrestling, it was always laughed at. Like when you say, "Well, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, I'm a pro wrestler." They look at you like, "What? That fake stuff?" So it's like I've come from the world of being ridiculed and looked down upon from Jump Street.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like this now when you say, "Oh, you collect toys," or you do what with your toys? Like you film them and make movies out of them. It's just I look at the person and go, "Yeah." It's like, that's it. I go, yeah.
Right.
I don't care if you don't get it. Yeah, that's what it is. That's literally what it is. You know, listen, it's just the way it is. Like people, when they don't understand it, it's just they will ridicule it because they don't get it.
That's what you said. People feel what they don't understand or want to
Yeah,
ridicule what they
yeah,
don't understand.
yeah,
They like to do things in a norm.
yeah,
A lot of people don't have any hobbies
yeah,
at all.
yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of people, you take other people away from them and you say, what will you do by yourself? A lot of people don't have an answer for that. They need somebody. Oh no, we're gonna go here. I'm gonna go shopping with her. I'm gonna take. No, no, no. I said you. There's nobody else. 5 hours. What you gonna do? No TV.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? A lot of people don't have anything for that. We're comfortable in our own skin. Where it's actually like, oh, you're gonna go out? Good, because I need me like 4 hours because I was trying to get into this, and you're kind of like throwing me off because I need this is solitude. This is
Yeah.
like when I come in here, this is escapism. I come in here to escape the outside world because there's so much crazy stuff going on in there. I come in here, I feel instantly relaxed.
Oh yeah.
The minute I come in here, I'm telling you, it could be a fire outside. The minute I come in here, I sit down, it all
Yeah.
just goes away. It all just goes away. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? Life is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me reevaluate this and see what's going on. I don't get that same feeling in other places. You know what I
No,
mean?
absolutely not.
And I don't know any other hobbies that really do that. A lot of hobbies add stress, or they become competitive, or like basketball. Basketball's cool, right? But it becomes a thing where you're competing against other people,
Yeah.
and it's like whatever. This is more like just you on your own, competing with nobody. unless you want to make it that and you want to, do some other stuff like, do contests and stuff. But
Yeah.
this is really a reflection of yourself, and it gives you time to really think about, well, who am I? What do I like? And what does it mean to me? And how does that look in my vision? You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
And I like
Yeah. Yeah.
I like seeing things like that, because it speaks. People have we can all see the same thing, but we can all have a totally different vantage point. Just like the movie. That the one thing happened, we was all standing there, but we all saw something totally different.
Different.
So I
Yeah.
like
Right.
seeing other perspectives a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like
Well,
seeing those things.
that's the one thing I've noticed when I've come into this YouTube space. I've been I've been on this Legend Series channel for almost about 2 years now. And uh, like you said, when I started this shit, it wasn't for me. It was never about making it a monetary thing. It was more of just kind of, like I said, making content for myself. So if I ever wanted to watch something back, I was there, and then it kind of just, snowballed. And then one afternoon, I decided to try a live stream. It did well. And then, everything else is history. Then became like I started a membership and all this stuff with the channel because it was like, oh, this is fun,
Right.
But I did hit a point where it stopped being fun, like where it was like, well, this is supposed to be a hobby. It's supposed to bring you joy. When you take pictures of the figures or you film the figures, it's not supposed to feel like work. You're not
Right.
supposed to feel like you're punching in. And I started to feel like I was punching in. And when I just took a step back, and when I was told, remember I told you before we went live, like last week, I had gotten swamped with so much shit. And it's like one of those things where it's like, it's a hobby. Don't make it your identity. Just be happy with it and do the things that bring you joy with it. Don't make it like where it's oh, I gotta, like you said, I gotta do this. I gotta go on here and edit this, and I gotta do this, because then by the end, 3, 4, 5 months in, you're not even gonna want to look at YouTube anymore. Forget about making videos. You're not even gonna want to watch a video.
Yeah.
But
We already used to dopamine. We already used to
yeah,
these little
yeah,
hits, right? And let me explain something. And then I know people want to watch this for those of you who don't understand because you're not on YouTube or doing social media or anything like that. I don't care what Marvel Legend, what Transformer you getting, whatever, what figure, what hot toy, what size show. I don't care what you getting. There's no dopamine hit like that YouTube Studio app. I'm gonna tell you right now,
fact,
that YouTube Studio app hit different. So once that gets into play,
yeah,
that will start to take over what's going on, and content will become pressure. And this
yeah,
is, and I understand that very clearly. So this is
yeah,
why another reason why I like to talk about things. It's not about the figure. This is what I do on the side, whatever. So when I talk about it, I don't feel like it's this. It's not that. I'm talking about it, but it's not. It's vicariously through it. It's
yeah,
not. I'm metaphorically speaking. It's not like me, like when he can go 90 degrees and he could look kind of backwards, maybe, but he could look at his toes. Not like the last one. Oh, man, how many times I'm gonna do that? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
we already got that. We already got somebody for that, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then let's be honest. If I was doing that, would we be having this conversation right now?
Probably not.
If I was doing Spider-Man reviews, you wouldn't even know I exist. I will be lost in the sea of
Yeah,
people doing Spider-Man reviews.
facts. Yeah,
You know
very
what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah,
So, you know, it starts off, I just want to do it like this. I want to see what's going on. Then everything grows. I know it's crazy out there.
that's
I
all.
got a red
That's all
light.
good, man.
It starts off like that. Like I just want to see what's going on and test the waters, whatever. But everything grows. Everything should grow. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, and it grows like that. And it's the same thing with me. So I just wanted to network, see what's going on. Now I got bigger thoughts now than I had before.
yeah,
Like I'm thinking about movements. I'm thinking about slogans. I'm thinking about collector upliftment.
facts.
I'm thinking about things that probably people are not where they're thinking. I'm thinking past that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't even think. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure we all have plans in our brains of how would we like this yellow brick road to go if
Oh
we
yeah, facts.
could,
Yeah,
make it, right?
yeah,
Because every step is a blessing. We never knew we'd make it this far.
yeah,
When you had 0 subs, 0 watch hours, it was all a shot in the dark, right? You said, let's see what happens. It could have went either way. You could have
yeah,
got no, you could have got nothing. You could have got something, right?
yeah,
And here we are. So now, like, okay, well, I wonder what happens if I keep my foot on the gas, right? And
yeah,
if I keep doing this, and then when I do a review, when I get an emoji that says fire, good video, yeah, okay, I appreciate you, thank you. When I get an essay that tells me your life story, which is what I get, if you got to go through my comments and you click read more, those things are opening up, and these people are on their mobile phones. and expressing to me what's going on, because I do the same in my videos and I express what's going. I like you can't hold nothing against me. Like
Yeah.
I'm an open book. If I
Yeah.
put it out there, you can't throw it against me.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Hell yeah.
But people, it resonates with that. There's
Yeah.
more people who didn't have it than people who do have it. For
Yeah.
every one kid in the class that had every pair of sneakers, there's 20 of us who didn't
It
have
didn't
any,
happen.
didn't
Yeah.
have that, and we just all look like, yeah, yeah, he's the spoiled one or whatever. So when you speak into that guy, that's cool. But what about the other 20?
20
You
guy.
know,
Yeah.
and don't forget where you came from. And
Facts.
that's why I really try to like to resonate with that audience. That's my
Yeah.
audience. That's my crowd. The people who had it bad, who didn't have it growing up. You know,
Facts.
I don't resonate with people who had a silver spoon in them. I never had a silver spoon in my mouth.
No.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It's now in the later ages of my life, because of the sacrifices I've made and the decisions I've made, that I'm able to do certain things now. And luckily, I made those decisions. And luckily, God was with me. And luckily, I had some luck on my side.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Because everything can go
Yeah.
differently.
Well, it's
You
like you
know,
said. It's like you said before, man. And nothing says that's nothing's more true than what you said. Is we get these things because we are now in a place financially where when I was a kid, I was in the same boat, man. You go to a shop, Ma, can I have this? No, we don't have the money. So it's a lot of the stuff I didn't get as a kid, but I saw kids all over the neighborhood have He-Man and GI Joe, and so now I'm an adult. I got the money. Naturally, I'm going to get the things that I didn't have when I was a kid, which obviously gets a little out of control. But
yeah, that's
you,
how it is, though. You know what
but
I'm saying?
it's just one of those things where it's a safety net. I wish I could explain it to people. It's so hard to explain when you get especially when you get one that hits. Like when I got the 40th anniversary He Man, and like I said, I just lost my father this year, but when I got that, he was still alive, and I got taken back to the very first time I was watching He Man with him, and we were sitting on the
Right.
couch together, and he was explaining all this is He Man, and this is bye bye, so it was just like it's just stuff like that where it's just like that's why it means something. Like you could turn around to me,
Exactly.
you turn around to me and say, "Why are you collecting toys?" That's why. Like it's that. That's
And
why.
sometimes you forget about those things until you see that. So I'm
Until
pretty
you see
sure
it. Yep.
there's probably a moment you forgot
Yeah.
all about it. Then you see that one particular figure, you're like, yo, fam, this
Yeah.
is. Do you
Yeah.
remember when Pops was, you brought up the Wolverine? I did a story when I was talking about my Brown, when I needed the Brown Suit Wolverine with the Juggernaut head. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? At that time, he was going for a buck and change. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I found somebody on Craigslist, 40 something dollars. When I get to Target, guy hits me talking about, yo, meet me in the back of the parking lot. And I'm like, I'm from the Bronx, man. First of all,
Yeah.
yeah, most people want to meet in the front. I'm doing this for you. But if you want to meet in the back, listen, all day. I told my daughter, you stay right here. I'll be right back. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm not coming. I see Wolverine, I'll come back without Wolverine. She's like, Dad, you serious? I'm like, I'm dead serious. But when I get there, it's just a guy with his pops. He was like, nah, I don't want nobody to scratch my car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a memory. That's a memory. I'm always gonna remember that my daughter was like, Dad, it's not that deep. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I can show her that figure right now. I'll be like, yo, Chula, remember this figure? She's like, yo, you remember when you almost that, you thought you
Yeah.
was gonna die in Target for that? These are things like, and on a regular day, we won't remember it. But when you
Yeah.
hold up that one particular, my daughter's not a collector. But if I hold up that figure, I said, you remember this? She's
Yeah.
gonna be like, I remember exactly that.
Yeah.
Figures mark time.
They
The
figured
same
it
way that
out.
music marks time. The
Yeah.
same way you can hear a song, you'll be like, oh, I was in summer camp when this song came out. Oh, I was in ninth grade when oh man, I was with that chicken in this class over here. The same way you see a figure like, yo, that
Yeah.
figure right there, I picked that figure up there. You just said my pops or whatever the case
That's a
is.
fact.
Like me, the last thing on my mom's. These
Yeah.
things mark time. And the thing is with music, we forget about it. We don't forget about these things.
These
They're
things.
right
Nope.
there in front of our face.
Yeah.
It's like a time capsule in real
Facts,
time.
dude. I got there was a fan of the channel sent me a gift, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
the old school LJN wrestling figures, the big rubber ones,
All right.
and it was the Macho Man, and
Oh man.
that was the first toy my father had gotten me, and he literally, my father had passed away for it was like a month prior to this, and just taking that out of the box, it was literally like you said, you don't remember it until the moment happens. And I took that fucking thing out of the box, and I immediately remember standing in Queens with him and just looking at him, and him, you want that Macho Man figure? And I go, yeah, and him buying that, and it was just like immediate, just breakdown, like, oh fuck, my father like was just such a thing, like you said, you don't remember it until
Until
it's
right.
just presented in front of you, and you're like, holy shit, it is taken
And it
right
comes
back.
back in 4K,
Yeah,
4K, like it never left.
100%.
Like you just said, like yo,
Yeah,
I'm living this all over again.
yeah,
And literally, I could sit here Sometimes I come in here and I don't say anything. I sit there, I smoke weed, I sit down, I look,
Yeah.
turn around, I look around. And sometimes I go, yo, how did this, you know what I mean? You know, like, how did, like, oh my God, like if I would have told myself back in the days, isn't to get this crazy, I would have never thought like that. But then you look around, you see, you feel a sense of accomplishment. You know
Oh
what
yeah.
I mean? Because you
Oh yeah.
feel like I was able to accomplish this. Like, you know, a lot of people can't even accomplish, you know, collecting t-shirts. Like, you know
T-shirts.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's just a lot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then to keep things in pristine condition, then to make sure that nothing else on the wayside falls off. My kids need for nothing. Everything is good to go. Still building things at the time. Yo, YouTube costs money, not for nothing. People want to talk about collecting and getting in front of a camera. My brother, lights, the plugs, microphones, everything. This costs a lot of money,
Yeah.
and it's really a labor of love. So how deep you want to get into it? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Facts. Yeah. Facts.
Can you get away with an iPhone? Yeah, sure, you can get away. I'm on an iPhone right now, but I'm plugged into a whole lot of other things right now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
That are not just my iPhone.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
100%,
So
dude. Yeah.
it's how deep you want to take it, and these things are things that keep us out of trouble. First of all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because before YouTube, I'll be the first one to tell you guys, I live right there. I could go to the liquor store. I don't got to cross the street. Downstairs, two buildings over, I'm in there. And I used to come from work and I wasn't even thinking about it. So I'm gonna have a drink or do whatever. And it wasn't until I started doing YouTube and started coming in front of this and starting having the script after work and getting in front of a camera and be like, hold up, man, my eyes, you know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and it started making me think about things. And I'm like, damn, yo, like, maybe I should change things. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't having that perspective before YouTube, and I wasn't on YouTube if it wasn't for collecting. So, you know, we all have to trade these breadcrumbs back. And when somebody's laughing, I'm like, you laughing because I got what Soundwave, but you just spent $50 on some Hennessy, and I don't think your life's getting any better. You
Oh,
know what I mean? I'm just saying. But if you say that, you're wrong. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. At 100%.
To
Yeah.
each his own.
Dude, I said this to my wife all the time. You know, biggest accomplishment that I can honestly say about myself is I turned this into a way to fund my hobby. You know, so because of the memberships, because of like going live, like I started a simulated wrestling league. So a lot
All
of
right.
guys would join the membership to join the wrestling league
All right.
and things like that. So it's like this funded the hobby now because
Right.
of and it's one of those things where it was never intended to make money. It was just one of those things where I wanted to make this channel inclusive. I want you to feel like you're we're all playing together, like we're sitting on the floor playing with toys together, and or we're playing the video game together. You know, so if you like you want to hang out with me, and if you're joining the membership, you're basically telling me I like what you're giving us in terms of content, but I want more. That's why I'm paying. You know, so I always offer a way to be inclusive, and it became one of those things where I never thought that it would make a sufficient amount of money to fund my hobby, but it kind of does now, and it's nice. I one of my greatest accomplishments is that like you can't tell me that when you start this like that it just kind of you fall ass backwards into it because I have two YouTube channels. One is a pro wrestling one that it belongs to my production company and that it has a great amazing following. It's great. It's fantastic, but it was built through pro wrestling. It wasn't built over like through my personality like this is. So
Got
to
you.
me, that's a bigger accomplishment
It
that the
is.
fact that this is built off of me, not using like a crutch like pro wrestling and posting wrestling matches that I had nothing to do with. I wasn't, you know, I
No,
wasn't involved.
that
You
it
know?
wasn't. They wasn't coming there for you. They was coming there for that. This
Yeah,
one, they're
exactly.
coming here for you. You did something
Yeah,
grassroots, built it from the ground up. You built it, and they came, and
yeah.
that's what you're trying to say,
Hell yeah, yeah. And that's
right?
and
Right.
it feels damn good. And if anybody's judges you for collecting toys, the fact that you're building something not in spite of, but because of. Like the toys become a thing where you love them so much and you're so passionate about them that you go online to just share your viewpoint, you know, and it becomes a thing where people not only agree but they relate and they feel closer to you because they feel like fuck, there's somebody else out there that feels almost the same way or close to the same way that I feel about my collection or what I do with my YouTube channel. And I think it's rare, dude. It's one of the reasons why I love your channel because it's like I said, dude, and I mean this with all due respect to other channels as well. There's 100 reviewers out there. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's like 100 people doing the same fucking thing,
Yeah.
and they're doing it like you said for the wrong reasons. They just think it's a way to monetize, or they're just like, it's like, I'm going to turn this thing into a business. And the one thing I could say about YouTube channels, those are the ones that never succeed. The ones that do it for the love are usually the ones that succeed, because that's what comes through the camera, and that's what people relate to. Passion, determination, drive for doing stuff that like some people's like, well, I will never try to do it, but the fact that he's trying to do it, I respect that, and I'm impressed by it, and I want to follow the journey. So it's this, like I said, something could be said for some of the YouTubers, the real ones. I call them the real ones because those are the ones that you gravitate to, because those are like Woody always says this: real recognizes real. So once you
Facts.
recognize it, you just tend to, birds of a feather, man. We tend to flock together. So like I said, if in order to close this up, if I can say anything, dude, your channel is amazing. What you do, what you bring to this space. I don't know, you know, if nobody knows about you today, I hope that I was able to shine more light on your your personality and what you bring to this space, because it's a completely different perspective than most people. And I think everybody should hear this kind of perspective, because while people don't want to talk about the numbers, they tend to not want to talk about YouTube numbers and shit like that, but it's a reality. It's a
Hmm.
big reality. And like the way you articulated it, where you said there's no bigger dopamine hit than YouTube Studio, brother. Truer words have never been spoken.
You know, yeah, I always call it how it is, my brother. Like,
Yeah,
listen, I'm never gonna be like, nah, that is what it is, man. I
yeah,
drop a video Friday. I wake up at 3 in the morning. I'm like, hold on, let me see something. Okay, that's good. It's something that we put too much time and
yeah,
energy into it, right?
yeah,
And I think there's something to be said about like a live like this too. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many times like in the genre where I feel like these conversations, like the ones that we having, or the conversations I've seen you have with other people like Woody, are not being taken place. Too
yeah,
many times in our genre, it's just a whole lot of laughing and a lot of nothing. A
yeah,
whole bunch of ha 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 ha. And I'm like, I'm there for 15 minutes. I haven't learned anything. I have four guys laughing like they're, or 4 or 5 or 8 or 10 or whoever, just
yeah,
laughing like they on FaceTime with each other, like nobody else is watching. And I'm like, why would anybody want to watch this?
yeah, yeah.
You're not even talking about anything, right? So whenever that, no other genre does that. If you go on Marquise Browning channel on a tech, they're not gonna be laughing and talking about. They're gonna get straight to it, see
Good
what's
point.
going on. I
Yeah,
never look at it like I take anybody's attention for granted. From the moment that camera goes on, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I fully expect. I feel like you're there with the remote control in your hand. I treat it like you want to press that button, and I'm like, no, 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 hold up, let me just keep this
let
going.
me tell you.
And
Yeah,
and and I always just try to trim the fat, get
yeah,
straight to the point, make it coincide, add your personal stories, and then break out of there. And then try not to even answer the question, because when you pick a side, people start getting salty. So
yeah,
I'll bring it up, I ask a question, and usually at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know, you let me know. You know what I'm saying? I'll
yeah,
bring up the good and I'll bring up the bad. You
right,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I'll
yeah.
treat both sides the way, because I'm actually thinking about these things. I'm actually sitting back like, yo, man, I can't be the only one, man. Because a lot of times I sit here, because sometimes, I don't know if you smoke weed or whatever. Sometimes
All
you
the time.
smoke, they damn, do I smoke too much? Do I smoke too much? Like my girl be like, you smoke too much or whatever. I say, nah, because I'm thinking about it, right? And like, is it just me? I was like, babe, when you watch this guy, what do you think to yourself?
Yeah,
What are you saying to yourself? And I kind of want. I'm trying to start this new thing, my brother. I'm trying to start this like. I really want more respect for the movement. That's why you see my page. I'm starting it now. I'm doubling down on it.
yeah,
And I'm gonna keep pushing it. Is to respect the collection, respect the collector,
yeah.
respect the culture, and that's what it comes down to. If we all follow those three rules, I think everything will be straight. You know what I'm
Straight.
saying?
Yeah, hell
No
yeah,
laughing at nobody. Respect everybody's collection. Respect the collector for who they are, for why they do this. You know what I'm saying? And just
yeah,
respect the culture in general.
hell
I
yeah,
think that is not enough respect for the culture. I think our culture is being disrespected, taken advantage of. It's being is I don't want to say it's just being ran through the mud, and
yeah,
everybody wants a piece of it. We have to remember, right, that our hobby doesn't need a skill. This is pay for play. Make no mistake.
yeah.
So this is not basketball. Who got the deepest cross? Who's going to the gym the most? You can come in this tomorrow with mommy's American Express card and blow somebody out. You know what I mean? And this is where we at. So we have to
Yeah.
understand that this is going to attract people who maybe are in it for the wrong reasons.
Reasons. Yeah, yeah.
And this all
Well,
I'm trying to break it down is Why? So when somebody says, "Oh, I need the new jug," okay, why?
Why? Yeah.
Oh, because you don't have to. Why you not going to get it? No, no, no. You didn't answer my question, my brother.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't
Oh,
turn it
because
on. Yeah.
I hate when
Yeah.
somebody says something retarded like, "Oh, it's pinless, boy." If you don't get that away from me, I would. And I feel like that's just reviewer talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just somebody
That's
say, "Well,
definitely what that is.
I wish this came in pinless." I have never bought a figure in my life and
Yeah.
said, "Oh, it's not pinless.
Fucking
Gotta put this
pins. I
back."
never. Yeah. No, dude.
I've never said that in my life.
Yeah.
Never, not
Yeah.
once. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I feel like certain terms are used to drag out the clock. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Oh, my gripe is, I wish they had, yeah, there is no gripe. You should have never picked up that figure in the first place. So, and I want people to think about it like that so that because at the end of the day, we take the hit for people like that regardless.
Yeah.
You
For
know
real.
what I mean? They put us all in a nutshell. Are you going to Comic Con? Oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to Comic Con. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but you dressing up? What's that third? I'm like, my brother, you know how much fun we have at Comic Con and how chill it is, and we don't gotta watch our back. You ever thought about that? I'm from the Bronx, my brother. I'm tired of watching my back. I go to Comic Con, it's all chill, it's all pieces.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to rob you and do anything crazy to you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We can save that for later. I actually like this community that we have here. I could have started any channel. I could have started a hip hop channel. I could have started a street talk channel. I could have did so many different things. But
Yeah.
my love is for this. And this is what I do regardless. So I look at my page, like you said earlier, this is a diary of what's going on. Everything on my page, I was already going to do. I was
Right.
already going to make that diorama.
Yeah.
I was already going to make that ice slide. I just opened the window and let you in. Not once have I ever said, I need to buy this for the feed. Never. I would never do that. I would never go out there and say, oh, I'm going to buy this figure only because I got nothing else. So, man, I hate McFarlane, man. Why does he keep making these whack ass? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So, and I feel like if people treated just a little more respectfully, then we would get a lot more respect.
Right. I agree.
And that's what I want for the culture. For people who can't articulate. Well, why do you do this? There's somebody who's young who doesn't understand how to articulate it. And I get that a lot in my comments, right? Like, oh, I feel exactly how you said. I just didn't know how to say it.
Don't know how to say it.
And that's what that respect the culture is about. That's what the respect the collection's about. And that's what I really want to push. Not so much for me, but for us, but for everybody. And I really want that for us. You know what I'm saying?
It's about passion, man. And that's really what it's about. When you say respect the collector, it's about the collector's passion. They have a particular passion for whatever line it is, whatever property, whatever it is. We have a love that goes beyond explanation, and I think that's what you need to respect. You don't have to understand it. No one has to understand why we do the things we do. We just have to respect it and have a healthy respect of it. And
don't crack jokes and do whatever. And you can tell when something's real. You watch certain people's pages, I don't like displaying model behavior. You know displaying model behavior.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I watch him. I'm like, yo, he puts me in a good mood all the time. If I'm ever feeling on, and he just smiles. I'm like, man, I like David, man. I always he's genuine, and I really feel like that's him. And he's just a feel good character. There's some other people that I watch, but I like those personalities. Yeah. Like, I don't feel like he's trying to be something he's not. Yeah. That's who he is. I feel like when the camera goes over, say, yeah, that was a great video, right? And that's exactly what you're getting from him. You know what I'm saying? And
I tend to watch guys who love to play with their toys. Because if I see you love to play with your toys and you love to share that, then right out of the box, I know we have that in common, and I can always tell when someone is bullshitting. When they don't really like to play, or they don't really like to, they're just saying that shit. Like I said, you always can tell real recognizers. You can always tell when people are that he's a real collector, or this means something to him deeper than just a YouTube channel. You can always
see it in this person's eye. You can see it now. Like they took a picture from my birthday, right? I just turned 44 in August, and my girlfriend, she bought me that Soundwave, right? And I've been waiting for that sound. This particular Soundwave, everybody knows this one costs a little grip right now, right? So I was waiting on this one for a minute. I did not want to pay the price or whatever, so she wound up getting it for me. I had no idea. I didn't even ask for. I don't ask for anything. I never told her this is what I never told her this is what I'm checking for. Or I'm looking for this, whatever. I bring things up and she listens to me in passing. You know what I'm saying? And she got it for me. And there was a picture that I put it on my Instagram, and my mother called me when I opened it, and I was like, "Yo, you got me sound like it was like boom." And you can. She snapped it at the right time.
Yeah.
You can't fake that.
Yeah.
If you were to tell me right now, you'll recreate that. You can't recreate the look in your eye when that first time that I was like, what? I cannot. Soundwave's one of my favorite, favorite lieutenant. besides Devastator. He's the one. Like, if you were a Soundwave, you're never truly alone because he got like 3 people in him. You know what I mean? And he's Megatron's right hand man.
Yeah.
Starscream always trying to take the show, and Shockwave always trying to experiment. So it's really like Sound, and plus his voice.
Yeah.
Soundwave is really a character to me. You know what I'm saying? So I really like him. But you can't make that up. We
Yeah.
have like a certain look that we have that it's not like, oh yeah, I'll take that. It's like, yo, it's like you can see it. You can say, I see you.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
my wife bought me Dr. Mindbender, which was like a Pulse exclusive, and he sold out almost immediately. And at the time I was filming something, and I was like, "Fuck, I really could have used Doc." And I just said it in passing. I really could have used him. So on our anniversary, she goes, "Yeah, it came early." She goes, "But here, just open it because it's here." And I opened up that box, and it was him. And like you said, there's a look that got in my eyes. She's like, She goes, "It was like I was watching you as a child." And she goes, "I saw the glee and like the joy in your face that like you didn't think you were ever gonna have it, and I was able to give you that." She goes, she goes, "If I could bottle that feeling, I would." Like, because it was
Yeah.
just like a moment where I just like looked at her, and I didn't think I was ever gonna get it. Like, I just, because it sold out so quickly, and now, obviously now
Uh-huh.
they have retro Mindbender. You can get him; he's everywhere. But at that time, I didn't think I was gonna. And the fact that she went above and beyond to get it for me, like, you just it just hits you where you're just like,
Yeah.
God damn, thank you
You
for
can't
listening.
fake that. You
Yeah,
cannot fake that.
yeah,
And let's
yeah,
take it a little step further. What does that mean to you, right? As a partner, right? Because boom,
yeah,
we got people who will be like, "Oh, I don't mind," right? Oh, first of all, we got people that do mind, right? They're like, "Oh,
yeah,
you collect toys? I can't be like, whatever. I gotta get a Louis V bag, no toys." Boom. Then we got the ones who's like, "Oh, I don't mind. I don't approve, but I
I
don't
don't
mind,"
mind. Yeah,
right? So I just stay over there. Just don't talk too loud on whatever about these
yeah,
things. And then you got somebody who not only approves of who you are as a person, because you can't take certain sides of people. I can't like some of you. Either I rock with you or I don't. There's no gray
yeah,
area. So if somebody's with you, it's like I like the left side, but the right side I could do without. You know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean? So not only does she accept you, but listen to what's going on, participate, and then go above and beyond to the fact that her overhearing brung you home a grail. Like that goes way beyond saying, "Oh yeah, I allow him." First of all, you don't allow me to do anything. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like this that speaks volumes because you could. I mean, just hearing that story, I don't know your girlfriend or your wife. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
I feel like you guys are close. I feel like she listens to you. I feel
Oh
like she
yeah,
cares about who you are and, and
yeah,
and what it is that makes you happy.
yeah, yeah.
That is so rare. We live in a world that's so fickle that people only care about what have you done for me lately. It's
Fact.
all about me. I'm not happy. You need to put a smile on my face. So we're in that in 2025. That is golden, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, and it's not the first time she did it. It was like that was like the first time I ever like, oh my god, I can't believe this. And then after that, it was the 4-pack Eastman Laird Ninja Turtles. It was my favorite version of the Ninja Turtles. Those comic
Mm-hmm.
art. I love the way the art style. And she got me that. And it was just things like that. It's like you really listen, and I appreciate that. And it's like you said, you don't just accept me because I can provide certain things. You accept me everything, like completely. And for that, that's like when I tell people all the time when they say like I've been a couple times people like, man, where the fuck you find that one? Do they make more of her? And it's like
Mm-hmm.
they're rare.
They
No,
are rare, right?
they're rare, and you have to find it because you ain't gonna find, just ain't gonna just fall in your lap.
That's a
This
chase. It's
person
a
was,
variant. It's a
yeah,
chase.
man. I was like, you got it takes some time to find them, but when you do, you know, and it makes it. I don't want to get fucking sappy here, but they're worth the wait. Like all the bullshit. I'm gonna be
100%.
43 next week, right?
Right.
And 43 years of my life, I met her when I was 40. She was worth the 40-year wait because now I'm here and I can collect toys, and she has gone on toy hunts for me. Like I haven't even had to go, and it's that kind of teamwork and that kind of like if someone like you love and respect and admire respects and admires you equally, you don't really need to give a shit about what some unassuming commenter says about you. It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
Yeah.
yo, yo, it's crazy because that bothers me sometimes. Like sometimes, you know what it bothers me? Like when I know the video drops because my video like drop at Friday at 7.
Yeah.
The video like 12 minutes. I'm like, it's 7 o'clock. At 7:02, I got like a dislike. I'm like, fam, son, you coming to my page just to hit that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right. Yeah.
And that's part of the reason I put that post up the other day for everybody else. And I was like,
Yeah.
let me just let these people know exactly what that means to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We
Yeah.
got a 98.48% like rating on the channel overall. That's for all the fans, all the subscribers, everybody that's been contributing, everybody
Yeah.
that's been showing up, everybody that's been checking.
Yeah.
So I just want to let them know that that's what we're doing, which is crazy. The overall average, 132 videos overall, 98.48% average. Come on, you know this is it's not easy, man. We're not
Yeah.
talking about two
Okay.
videos average.
Yeah.
132. That's not easy. So that's with homie waking up every day, him and his girl just smashing that dislike like as soon as they wake up. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, let me let them know how insignificant that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. A big up to everybody else and a quick little psh, by the
Yeah.
way.
Get the yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, but we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that as things go up because if we wasn't making a difference, this is different. This is not what they used to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If we wasn't making a difference, then nobody would care.
Yep.
Nobody hates on a loser.
That's a fact.
Nobody hates on a loser.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you're like, oh yeah, that's a fizzle bad for you, whatever. You only hate on people that is like, hold up, nah, not him. Why not? Why you feeling some type of way?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those things are gonna come as we move up. But that's why I try to say, as long as we stick together and real recognize real and this community, like you said, you when I first came on, you was like, oh, you answer fast. Why not? Why not? We all the same. We all trying to do this together. We
Oh
all
yeah.
got the same mission together,
Oh yeah.
and we're gonna be stronger together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If we
I
do
agree.
this together, and we all could just plug each other in, and now you can hit me at any time or whatever. You know, oh, I can come right here, boom, 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 and I can do the same with you. And
Oh yeah.
before we know it, this could be a whole different thing going on. Like we could actually like unionize this in the kind of way like people not thinking about it, but we can definitely set trends and definitely change the culture for the better. That's where my mind is at, my brother.
And that's where everybody's mind should be at, because that's where mine is at. It's always about, I hate to get cliche, but a rising tide raises all ships, right? So if we all help each other, everybody rises up together. I think we should all. Um, I listen. I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but if anybody takes anything away from this episode today, they need to take away that message that you've been really really letting everybody know about, which is we all need to help each other, respect each other, and I think we can all grow together.
Yeah,
Cleva, I want to say
facts.
thank you so much for coming on this show, brother. I mean, it's having a blast talking to you for almost 2 hours now. It's really a pleasure, man. Like I said, I've been a fan of you for quite some time since you've kind of come onto the scene. I've been watching all your videos. I love, like I said, again, I don't want to blow smoke, but your takes, they're not like everybody else's. I watch quite a few toy channels, and you have an interesting, uh, uh, um, and I want to say meaningful, like a meaningful take on this whole community and how this works and why we do what we do. Um, and like you said, it all just starts with one question: why? So thank you so much for coming on here. Thank you so much for clearing that up and letting everybody know about you. You can catch Cleva over on his YouTube channel at Cleva's Multiverse, as well as his Instagram. Again, it's Cleva's Multiverse. There you could see all his takes on his YouTube and all his amazing pictures on his Instagram. Like I said, man, thank you so much for coming on here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Tony. That is Cleva. This has been an episode of Talkin Figures. Until next time, guys, keep
Have
on
a good
playing, man.
one, my brother.
Peace.